Hi ladies, how are you? How is everyone today? You know, I wasn't I wasn't planning on doing a stream today, but a bunch of stuff has come up and I just thought I'd share it with all of you and, hang out with you for a little bit. Hey, Susan. My desk is a huge mess. I painted papers and did a bunch of stuff yesterday, so it's just it's a good day to craft. So tell me how you guys are. Tell me what's up. I want to know. I know some of you. I got a message from a bunch of you that you can't, that you aren't going to chat. That you're only going to listen, and that's fine too. Let me clean up my desk for a little bit. So what I did yesterday was I made some, the painty papers that we made. I made a cover for a journal, and I have a few boxes to make that to do that as well. So anyway, tell me what's going on with you ladies. I hope everything's good. I hope everything's good. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it with some peeps if I can. Let me just share it with a couple of people. So, hi Fiona, hi Susan, hi Jen. So, and hi all you lurkers in the back. So I'm just going to craft and you guys do whatever you want, but really I wanted to talk to you about what's going on. Let me just turn off my Facebook things because it's just going to keep dinging. It is just going to keep dinging. Hi, Luana. Hi, Gwen. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Heather. I wasn't even going to stream, but I'll tell you what happened. Besides the fact that my whole thing is a mess here, you guys. So this is like how I left it last night when I quit working, when I stopped my mess. So this morning I got up and hi Irene, welcome. You guys work on any project? Hi Alta, hi Renee. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what's going on. So this morning I got up. First of all, I'm going through a detox. Are any of you guys going through a detox? And I know it's from the energy because I'm not going through it. I am not doing like a detox. Like I haven't like decided, oh, I'm going to do a detox, and I'm not doing anything other than just being. So if any of you are having what I would consider detox symptoms, which are like, headaches and body aches, and like when your body's going through a detox, have any of you guys ever done like a juice fast or anything like that? Your body definitely goes through like some sort of detoxing. And so detox, like have you ever given up coffee? Has anybody ever given up coffee and then you start having like a headache? Your body is detoxing from that. Okay. So what's happening for all of us right now? So when I got up this morning, Hattie was going to go do hot yoga with my middle daughter, which I was excited for them, and I did not want to join in. You guys, the thought of sweating for 2 hours, I already suffer from hot flashes. The thought of sweating like for 2 hours in a big vat of people sweating in like 80 degree or whatever, however they make your hot yoga studio, it's pretty hot. I was like not game for it today. But I was happy he was going, and I was happy he was going to go be with her because, that's really important. It's really important for all of us to feel our worth. But sometimes as a young woman, you look to, like, you're like, it doesn't matter that your mom says you're cool. You look for like some sort of somebody outside of you. So it's good that he was going to do that. So I got up to that, and I was excited about that for them. But I also got up with what I felt like an energetic hangover. So like a detox, like my sinuses and my body is just going through a lot of stuff. But it's also an energetic detox. So I got up this morning, and I had probably, I want to say 15 messages from people saying, I'm freaking out. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm angry. I'm this, I'm that. You know, I feel like I'm alone. I feel like no one in my life understands me. And so rather than me sit there and try and answer everyone individually, I invited you guys all here. Okay? And so, oh, hi, Danina. Oh, your daughter-in-law's in the hospital having her baby now? Oh, well, we'll send her some love, Danina. We'll totally. So for those of you that messaged me that you're freaking out and having a hard time, I hope you're here, because I sent private message links to those people. And not all of them are part of like our crafting group. So some of them are just my regular clients. So I'm sure that they don't know this aspect of me that likes to craft. So they're going to get on here and see my newspapers and think I'm a little crazy, and that's okay. But for those of you that just want, hi Bet, I love you Bet, hi Heather, you guys all, if I haven't said hi to you, can you just put your names in caps, because the chat goes by faster than I can sometimes see. And I don't mean to miss any of you, but also too, just have to understand I don't see it. So what I thought I would do with you girls, if you're up for it, I mean, you know, if you're up for it or if you're not, hi Brenda, is to talk about and to work on, if you're open to it. And if you're not open to it, you just have to say no. You don't have to just, I hit it on the nose for you. Well, good, Amanda. See, so this is the one thing I want you to understand. When one of us goes through something, we all experience something. We are a collective, okay? We are as a human race, we're a collective. So when good things are happening for us, there's like a trickle down effect, you know, like like when you throw a rock in a still lake, how that ripples out. When good things happen for us, it's that way, and when not so good things happen for us, it's that way, and we feel it, and sometimes we don't even know why. Okay, so this whole eclipse, first of all, it's coming on the 21st of August is the solstice. You know, it's the fall solstice or whatever it's, you know what I'm talking about. What is it? You know, it's that energetic time too. And then more powerfully, we're having an eclipse, right? We're having this solar eclipse, lunar, whatever, this big eclipse. I don't even know if we're going to be able to see it, but we can feel the energies anyway. And so, so the messages I got this morning were like, my family's freaking out on me, like, they don't understand me, my sister, who I've always had a really great relationship with, is, you know, having whatever her issues are, she's having those, you know, all of those things, right? And I mean, just like out of the blue. And it's what's happening is, to the person that's experiencing it, say you don't ever have the conflict with your sister, but you suddenly are, is that you're feeling like waylaid and down, and you're like, what? So Fiona, thank you for sharing that. And I appreciate you saying that. It is messing all of us up, okay? Because a couple things is, we don't understand what's going on. And so then we start kind of spinning out of control, right? Your youngest son is having a hard time too, Fiona? Okay. So for those of you that don't know me, because I probably should preface this because I sound like a mad woman, right? I mean, you girls know me, so maybe you don't think my woo-woo's too out there. So my name is Shelly. I live in Maui, Hawaii at the moment for about the past 9 years. I do energy attunement, energy work. I've always been like this. I was born like this. I'm clairaudient, clairvoyant, clairsentient, which means I hear, see, think, and know things. Right? They all come to you, right? You hear them, you see them, you just have an internal knowing. We all have these abilities. By the way, it's not like I'm like some, you know, we're all one. So, you know the adage that, you know, I think it's best said, you know, those even, you know, we all can do it. You know, we can all have the same sort of abilities. Just some of us are open a little bit more than others, or maybe we've just lived more lifetimes and have more, you know, have learned more lessons, or I don't know. So anyway, right, Crafty? We all have that. Hi, Arlena. You guys say hi to me in caps, so I don't want to miss you all. Okay, so what I'd like to do today to support you and myself, okay, hear me clearly. When I'm working with you and working on you and around you, I'm working on myself, okay? There's nothing outside of me. We all think that, but the first thing we all have to do is just be within ourselves and know wherever we are is okay. You know, my favorite thing is to say this to myself over and over again, and I don't know if you guys are game for it. Hi, Cassandra. Hi, Kylie. Is my life works. So my life works, my life works, my life works, my life works. And I just repeat that to myself. So even when like it seems like things aren't going my way, I'm always rest assured that everything's in divine order and gonna line myself back up with me. Does that make sense to you guys? And it's also true of the creative process, right? So like sometimes when you start like a piece of artwork, right? And then it kind of goes through that ugly stage, and then you're freaking out thinking like, this is the worst piece of artwork I've ever made. This is the worst journal. It's ugly. If you just plow through it, right? You just go, my life works, my life works, my life works. Hi, Beth. My life works, my life works. And then what happens, right? It seems to fall into place. So it's like the painting that you've painted where it's not quite great. Like you don't give it up, like you don't want to give it up. And then it's also like your life that way. So when you line up with yourself and being the best you can be, everything around you lines up. I know this seems so crazy and far-fetched. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to work on making some journal covers. And I made these out of like, this was like I don't know, like a cornbread box. And this one, I like the Swedish fish thing, but the kids ripped a piece of it out of it, so I may just cover it as well with the painting papers that we've worked on. And then I'm also going to do a self-grounding meditation, brief meditation with all of you, if you want to, that will help you put yourself back in alignment with yourself so that you can deal with the energies that are happening. Does that sound good? Does that sound good with you guys? So I am going to craft along. So if you guys want to get any project you're working on, you guys know I've been working on these painty papers. We've been making these painty, sounds great, Luana. We've been making these painty papers. I should probably turn on my lights a little bit better. Okay, good. Do you guys, am I like too out there for you guys? Am I like so weird? I'm sorry. It's just like when you wake up to 15 messages, you're just like, okay, you know it's not just you. And I'm going through my own energetic, you know, you guys, I have been eliminating foods from my diet. Like, just methodically sort of eliminating foods from my diet. Like, I don't know, like wheat. So like I'm like letting go of wheat. Like I'm trying to like monitor how much I eat and then just letting go of it. And then alcohol. Like I haven't had any alcohol probably in months, right? So I haven't even had a glass of wine. Even though I love a good glass of wine, I haven't had a glass of wine in months. So that, and then sugar. And then just because my body, personality, and my emotions are so tied in, right, that I wanted to let it go. But can I tell you, over the past 2 weeks, I really haven't done any intentional detox. But yet every single day, I have woken up, at least for the past 4 or 5 days, with like a detox, like feeling like my body's detoxing. And for those of you that know me, know I love tea. I'm drinking my yerba mate over ice because it is hot here in Hawaii. Okay, so let's all do a little tiny bit of a grounding meditation or a grounding energy work for ourselves to get us in the zen of creating. And then you guys start telling me what's going on with you, and we can work on it, each individual thing as it comes up. Does that sound good? So, and know that the energies that are happening right here on the planet right now with this eclipse and all of that, that is affecting you greatly. The same way it affects the tides in the ocean, It affects you. So some days when you're more moody, you're like, oh, I don't want to create that, or that piece of artwork looks terrible. But the next day you look at it and go, oh, I really love that piece of artwork. You are, hi Lisa, you are fine. You're in your own zen. You know, it's part of going with the flow is not judging it and just allowing it. Does that make sense? Amanda says her husband said if she can't clean up her messy craft stuff and spending money, if she can't clean up her messy craft stuff and spending money and get it out of her depression, oh no, oh Amanda, you know what? We'll work on that. Okay, so let's do our little bitty grounding meditation to begin with. And for those of you that want to participate, all you have to do is consciously say yes to yourself. And for those of you that are listening that don't want to participate, just say no. Energy always works with conscious consent. So for those of you that are not into it, don't even worry about it. And for those of you that want to receive the energy work that I offer here, just to yourself say yes. Okay, so I want you to sit with your feet on the floor. Can you make sure your feet, take your shoes off for those of you that have shoes on that can. And if you don't, I don't have shoes on. I hardly wear shoes. So sit with your feet flat on the floor, okay? And I want you to feel the floor underneath your feet. I just want you to be able to just put your attention at your feet. And I want you to feel the floor, feel and underneath the floor, the earth, and her beautiful golden eye image earth energy like gold. But you can see, feel, think, or just know it any way that works for you. I want you to breathe in and exhale. Give yourself permission to see your whole body surrounded in a column of white light. Keeping your attention still on your feet. This column of white light surrounds you, completely blankets you, this beautiful white luminescent light. Allow this light to grow bigger and bigger and bigger until it's 6 feet around you in all directions. Keep your attention on your feet. Feel this beautiful white light, your beautiful divine column of light, spread up as high as you can easily, effortlessly, and enjoyably imagine. See this white light, this beautiful column of light, reach to the sun and beyond. I also want you to see your column of light, put your attention back on your feet, and see, feel, think, or know your column of white light entering deep, deep, deep into the earth. When your column of white light has reached as far as it can easily, effortlessly, and enjoyably imagine, allow it to have big, large tree roots come from your big column of light. Allow your tree roots to go deep, 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 deep into the center of the earth. And let's invite this beautiful gold earth energy, keep your attention at your feet, to rise up through your column of light. This beautiful gold earth energy is surrounding you, engulfing you, and filling your column of light. Feel it rising up through your roots. Feel it rising up and surrounding, pouring through the bottom of your feet, your ankles, your knees, your thighs, and your hips. Feel this beautiful gold energy at the base of your spine, rising up to your lower abdomen, filling your whole body, your solar plexus and your navel area, filling up your heart, your shoulders, your upper arms, elbows, lower arms, wrists, and out every finger. Feel this beautiful gold earth energy rising up through your throat. Feel it filling your face and your head. Feel it filling your forehead and feel it fountaining out the top of your head. Breathe in the love of the Divine Mother in the form of the earth. Ready? Breathe it in. And breathe it in. And breathe it in. Put your attention back to your feet. I want you to feel this golden earth energy just grounding you at your feet, rising up through your whole body one more time, pouring through your legs, the base of your spine, your lower abdomen, your solar plexus at your navel, and your heart, your shoulders, down your arms and out your hands, through your throat, your face, your head, the top of your head, and fountaining out the top of your head as high up as you can easily, effortlessly imagine. Ready? Breathe it in. And one more time. Focus back on your heart just for a second. And give your body personality permission to allow this energy to expand wider and wider, filling up your beautiful column of white light. Breathe this cold earth energy into your heart and spread it out. And breathe it in and let it go. And one more time. Breathe it in and let it go. Now I want you to bring to mind anyone else that you'd like to send this beautiful gold earth energy to. A family member, someone you know, a friend, someone that you think needs it, or someone that just comes to your mind. Ready? Breathe it in and send it out. And breathe it in and send it out. And one more time, breathe it in and send it out. And when you feel ready, just open your eyes and come back to yourself. And tell me how you ladies feel. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Liliana. So tell me how you ladies are feeling now. Oh, you're welcome, Luana. Hi, Super Dimples. If you guys tell me your first names. I'm terrible with names. Oh, very nice. Awesome, Super Dimples. You guys, we have to be kind and gentle with ourselves. You know, this is a journey. This is not an end result. Oh, good, Jen. Good, Kylie. Awesome. You know, somebody told me this. Hi, Liz. Somebody told me this once, and I've never forgotten it. And they said, oh, you're welcome, Patricia. It has been stressful for all of us. Oh, Amanda, I'm so glad you joined us today. Oh, I'm glad you feel better. So somebody told me this. You guys know how woo-woo I am. Now, yes, I make recycled art, but I'm woo-woo too, okay? So I can't help myself, all right? I'm in love with making trash art, and that I won't deny. And, we went back to school last week, or maybe even the week before, Patricia, and it kicked my butt, okay? Getting up, I have to be out of my house by like 6:30 in the morning, and kicked my butt. I'm so glad you guys feel better. So somebody told me, oh, Fiona, I held your son in light, and your daughter-in-law too, Danina. Sarita, I am sure your sound faded to 0. Well, it wasn't that. I was just breathing, so there might have not been any sound. So somebody told me this, and I've never forgotten it. So you know how we all strive, like we do our thing, whatever it is, and we do our thing to, you know, I don't know if everyone's goal on here is enlightenment, but a lot of people focus on enlightenment, you know, or being more peaceful, or whatever you want to call it, right? Being more complete, or in tune, or whatever you want to call it. And so this very old spiritual man I met in South America said to me, enlightenment comes through your feet. And so that's always stuck with me. Enlightenment comes from your feet. Comes through your feet. We always think it comes from a connection above our heads, but he says enlightenment comes through your feet. So take your shoes off today, ladies, and feel the earth and enjoy it if you can, and even if you're in your home. And oh, I'm glad, Brenda. And you know, allow yourself to let go. I had somebody say to me earlier today they didn't know what to let go of. You know, like they didn't know, like they weren't feeling themselves, but they also didn't know what to let go of. And I was thinking about that. That's so true, but I was also thinking that we don't even really need to know. Like we don't need to know what we need to let go of, right? It's our head that gets in the way, thinking it has to control things. So it's okay if you don't know. Just let it go. You know, the one thing you do know is you're not feeling great. So if you're feeling great, oh, the volume's low? Okay, let me fix it. I'm sorry, you guys. Let me see if I can fix the volume. I'm sorry. Let me see. I don't know. I don't think I messed with the volume, but you guys, I never know. Let's see. Okay. It says all of my volume is up. Okay, let me see what else I can do. Is it better or worse? Is it better? Is the sound better? I don't know how to fix it any better. Anyway, so I wanted to share that with you. So if any of you are freaking out, don't feel alone. You are not alone on your journey. A lot of other people are going through it too. You know, a lot of other people are going through it too. It's fine there, Vicki? Well, I did turn it up. I fixed whatever I could fix and I turned it up. Okay, so I'm going to, maybe I was talking softer. I was probably in my own zen, because I zen out too, you guys. So I'm going to cover, do any of you guys save soap boxes or anything like that? These make really fun little journals if you haven't saved a soap box. And please feel free to share anything you want to share with me in the chat. If I don't see it, write it in all caps, and I'll try to, hi, Bridgeline. I'm so happy to see you. So this one was you guys know me in my Jiffy cornbread. You know how I usually make tags out of this Jiffy cornbread box? Well, this is a journal cover made from it. And what I did was I cut it in half, and I'm going to do the soap box the same way. These make fun little, like, glue books or journals or stuff you want to carry with you, you know, if you're into it. And you guys chat me up about anything. We can talk about woo-woo. We can talk about your art. We can talk about your families. We can talk about anything you want. I mean, I'm here, and I will energetically support you in any way that I can, and craft along if you want. So for those of you that haven't been joining me, I've been using, okay, I have a crazy, big hugs to you too. I have a big crazy stash of recycling that I'm trying to go through. Sarita, you're right. Okay, I'll tell you my funny energy work story, guys. So you're right. Sarita's saying the sound has something to do with the energy work that has happened to different degrees every time I do energy work. You're absolutely right. Okay. So I used to have a little Etsy shop. I still have one, but not like I had before. Right? This is a great idea for a mini cover. I agree. I don't always save them all because the kids throw them away sometimes before I can get to them. But so I used to sell, when I made handmade jewelry, I used to sell all kinds of handmade jewelry. So I would go, and I was always doing energy work, you guys. I was born this way. I came into this life this way, and I just incorporated in my life whatever I'm doing, art, whatever, jewelry, whatever. So I go into the post office, and I would have to mail out stuff like all the time. You know, like when you have a shop, and I don't know, maybe I went to the post office 3 times a week, 4 times a week. And I would walk into the post office, and inevitably their postage things would go offline. It would blow up, right? It would go, and I'd be like, oh no, because it meant that I had to wait longer in line, you know, for them to come back online. So finally one day the lady at the post office said, I walked in, she goes, oh no, she's here. Now I never said a word to them. Okay, I never said anything, but I walk in the door and she goes, oh no, she's here. She was like, our machines are gonna stop. Our machines are gonna stop. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, so you're right. It does. Sometimes it does do that. It's ridiculous. So I'm sorry for those of you that don't have good sound. Not my intention. Not my intention. Okay, so what I do is, I didn't want mine to have a huge be a big journal, so I cut the box in half, and I'm going to glue it together. It's ridiculous, Fiona. So I go to a different post. I try not to frequent the same ones all the time. It's getting better. You know, it's getting better. I talk to my energy, talk to the post office. You guys, I'm a little out there. But when you realize everything has energy and everything wants to support you, you start loving even the most ridiculous things. I'm using my Elmer's Extreme. I'm addicted to like glue sticks that when I'm making these painting paper boxes. You could use a wet glue, but I will tell you, and that would be fine to use a wet glue for this, but I will tell you when you are gluing your, or you could use ATC tape, ATG tape if you guys have that. But I will tell you when you're gluing your newspaper down, if you use wet glue, water and newspaper, it just makes it more warpy. And if you don't care about that, if that doesn't bother you, like sometimes it doesn't bother me. It's my life. But you guys, if I told you guys my life, you would be like, seriously? Seriously? My life rolls in ways you can't even imagine. It surprises me, okay? So if you use your wet glue with your newspaper print, it will definitely make it, you know, warpy or whatever, buckly, or I don't know, whatever word you want to use for it. And if you know, I'm just letting you know, that's just how it is. So I'm going to use my glue stick for the whole thing. I'm going to use, and if I was going to paint on top of this, I mean, if I sanded it, it probably would have a better tooth to hold to the paper, but I don't have any sandpaper close by. Beth, you know what? I can totally believe, I understand that. I understand the power. People don't understand the power of intention and the power of prayers. Prayer is it works. It works. That's why, okay, so there's 45 of us right here right now. And so let's just do a little experiment. everybody just focus on your heart, right? The world needs a little peace right now. Whether you believe it or not, I think we all need a little peace, right? So, hi Grace. Hi Frida. So just focus on your heart right now. Okay, just everybody put your attention on your heart. Make sure your feet are on the floor so you can still feel that beautiful grounding and beautiful gold earth energy that's surrounding you. And put your hand on your heart, or your focus on your attention on your heart, right? And I want you to think about one thing in your life that you'd like to let go. Maybe it's a habit that you have, or maybe it's just an energy or an emotion that comes up, like anger or frustration or impatience or just something, anything, right? So put your attention to that, and I want you to feel that energy wherever it resides in your body. It could reside in your hips, it could reside in your knees, it could be fear, it could be anything, right? Anything that you really want to let go of, or that's not serving you to the best of your ability, right? So put your attention on that. Now I want you to put your attention on something outside of you, and let's just make that something, it can be anything, but make it something like the energy of the sun. So let's put our attention on the energy of the sun. Ready? So you have the energy of something you want to let go, procrastination, criticism, whatever it is. Self-criticism, your inner critic. And then put your attention on the sun. Put your attention on the sun. Bring your attention back to whatever it is you want to let go of. And put your attention back on the sun. So can you feel that as you focus on something bigger than you, the smaller thing in you wants to leave, right? So and you feel more peaceful in letting it go. Yes? So maybe it's like your neighbor's dog who keeps pooping in your yard, and it brings so much frustration. So you can focus on that, and then focus on the sun. Focus on that, the small thing in you, and then focus on the larger thing like the sun. Okay, now what I want you to do, right? It gives you peace. So that's how peace is going to happen in our lifetime, you guys. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Not the world's peace, but only my peace. The peace begins with me. So we're all really powerful together. So let's breathe ourselves in, right? Think about whatever it is you want to let go. And I want you to focus on sending love and light and peace to the world. And one more time, focus on yourself. And focus on sending love and light and peace to the world. And one more time, focus on yourself. And focus on sending love, light, peace to the world. So Rita, make your column of light larger. Make the column of light that's coming from your feet bigger. And the one that comes from the base of your spine, make those wider. And if you have a headache, make your grounding cords bigger. Push them deeper, farther into the earth. Make sure they're down there. Sometimes we pull them up, because we suddenly feel our power, and then we're like, what was that? I'm really powerful. So, hi Dee. So tell me how you ladies are feeling now. Sarita, you feeling any better? You got lost in a doodle, Diana? Doodling is kind of addictive. I like doodling too. I'm getting lost in a doodle. I love it too. Okay, so tell me how you ladies are feeling. Feel relief? Oh, good. You guys, we're powerful. We're powerful as a group. We're powerful as a group, especially when you're sending positive intentions, right? When you're sending positive, loving thoughts. I mean, think about it. You know, you can be powerful in a negative way too. But let's focus, ladies. We're the light of this world, and we have to focus on being positive. Okay, so I've put my Elmer's Extreme on my cover on my. Okay, Sarita, I'll continue to do some energetic support. You know, you've been sick for a long time, so you have to, like, sometimes it takes a little longer to allow yourself to feel better, right? It's just conditioning, you know. But I will definitely send you some support. So for those of you that are making this journal and not wanting to do the woo-woo, and I'm sorry, you guys, it was just like today just felt so intense, you know. I got like so many emails, and some from you guys, you know. Some Facebook messages and some stuff like that of like what's going on. That's why I made Fiona, you're absolutely right. Your body and your emotions are entwined. They are not separate. You know, they aren't. I mean, they're separate in the fact that you will continue to. Emotions are like the memories, and they come from a collective, not just your own personal memories, but the collective of things that are experienced around you as well. You know, and I know that's sometimes hard for people to believe, but that is how it works. So I glued my, hi Noni! I glued my soapbox down, and I've left maybe a ½ inch all the way around. Well, one side's a little shorter. I cut it a little shorter. And it doesn't really matter because you're going to cover the inside of it. Oh, good, Sarita. I'm sorry you were having a bad day. I think a lot of people were. You're working on a traveler's notebook? Awesome! I love making traveler's notebooks. You're right. As a parent, it's very difficult to see your kids going through anything hard. I agree with you, Fiona, and you take it in. Hi, Trish! Okay, I'm just going to cut like the corners at an angle so that I can fold over my soapbox journal cover. If you guys have never made these out of, you can make them bigger too. Now before I start gluing, I'm just going to fold them over, and then I'm going to fold. I'm a crafty guru. Oh, I could name my channel that, Ridley. That's so funny. You guys, I never had the intention of sharing what my woo-woo with you guys, but I don't even know how it started. I don't know what happened, you guys. I really don't know. I just go with it. And I know it seems weird, but it just is what it is. And for those of you that are listening in the future, if you don't want to participate in the energy work, you just don't say yes to the conscious consent. No one can take your energy away from you without your consent. And no one can give anything to you without permission. I know it's really kind of hard for us to believe or fathom that. So for those of us that want to take our energy back, control of our energy and our being back, just breathe yourself back into you and release anything else. And, you know, you can definitely give yourself. It's conditioning too, ladies. You know, it's like we've been giving our power away as women forever. And if you're a man watching this, oh, Lisa, that's so sweet. If you're a man watching this, I'm not bashing men, but I'm just saying as a collective, the feminine energy has sort of been given like you know, been not nurtured. I mean, you can see it from the earth. The earth is a feminine energy. I'm in love with all you ladies too. I love you all, and I love your crafty self-expression. I love what you guys post in our Facebook group. I love seeing what you're doing. I love it. It makes me so happy. You have no idea. And what I love even more, that you guys are making crafty best friends, right? I think we needed each other, Lisa. I don't think... Crafty Guru is good. Crafty Guru is really good, Lisa. That is really good. So, and if you're a gentleman here, okay, we all have divine feminine and divine masculine energies in ourselves. Okay, so as we work on the divine feminine in ourselves, it opens up a plethora of things for all of us. So it's not just women, but women tend to give away. Think about the earth. She gives away all of her energy to us and asks nothing in return, right? She sustains us. Like the Native Americans say, the earth is our mother, right? And so I'm just gluing down my four corners, okay? Of my craftiness. And you may have to adjust a little bit on the side so you don't see any overhang. You girls, I love you girls. You have no idea. You have no idea. So I made myself a goal of trying to get some components together. You know, like, so I've been cleaning out my space, as you guys know. Been like purging, doing my calamari. It's really the KonMari system, but we call it, on this channel, we call it the calamari. So I've been doing my calamari, and so I have all of these. So I usually go through and I make tags out of all the boxes, but I had these really cute little boxes, and I don't know, who was I talking? I was talking to one of you guys about glue books. Hi, Susan. Oh, Noni, we're sending your grandma so much love. Good night, Kylie. If you guys haven't headed over to Kylie's studio, go over and watch her YouTube channel, Kylie Koo Studio. She is awesome. She's from Scotland, and I love your accent, Kylie. You always say, I love watching you and hearing your beautiful accent. She's got some amazing just art tips in general, and journaling, and she does some really cool stuff. She did a series, was it last year or the year before, Use It or Lose It or something like that, Kylie? And I did a few of the, I didn't post them in her, and she also has a Facebook group too. So if you guys go over and head over to Kylie Koo Studios on YouTube and check her videos out, but she definitely has this, there's a Use It or Lose It. I did a couple of the things that you did. Like I did some of the exercises, though I didn't post them. It was awesome. So guys, go check her out. You'll enjoy her a lot. Hi, Samantha. Goddess, it is perfectly, I agree with you. You need to ground yourself, and you also need to put a protection around yourself. So Diana says she needs some calamari too. Yes, it's called, Kylie's thing was called Junk, Use It or Lose It. Okay, so go over and watch. I mean, she's got a lot of other videos that are amazing too, but I loved the Junk, Use It or Lose It. And since we're all in that sort of purging space or doing our own version of it, go over and watch it. You guys will totally love it. And at the end of the video, I'll link her channel in the description box so you guys can go over and check it out. And she also has a Facebook group that's really fun and very inspirational. So you guys will enjoy that as well. You know, you have to put some sort of protection around yourself too, like an energy field protection sometimes. So you guys, I used to run a big art company. Because I've done all kinds of weird stuff in my life. And you know what? Good night, Kylie. I hope you sleep well. Guys, I just kind of go where I'm guided to, and it sometimes at the time it doesn't make sense, but later on it does. So, or maybe it never does. I don't know, you guys. My life is what it is. It's eclectic and odd, and it is just who I am, and I just have to embrace it and accept it. So, I used to run this big art company, and I got transferred for a little bit, or I worked a lot off and on. I traveled a lot because they had more than just galleries here in Hawaii. They had galleries on the mainland too. And I used to travel to Las Vegas, and that energy does not suit me. Okay, I have nothing against living in Vegas. I think it's a great for the cost of living and the what do you call it? You know, like the cost of living and houses. You get a lot of great stuff. Okay, but I used to work in Caesar's Palace, and our corporate offices were in Caesar's Palace. And you guys, I used to feel every single day like I was going to battle in that energy. So I used to see myself, before I would walk into Caesar's Palace. Okay, and have you ever been to the shops at Caesar's Palace? It's beautiful. I mean, it's gorgeous. The hotel itself is beautiful, but what they've done in the whole shopping end is beautiful. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. But I always felt like I was going to battle. So I would see myself. Have you guys ever seen like a card of the Divine Mother, the Virgin Mary, right? And she's wearing a blue mantle, which is like a robe, right? And then around her is usually like some light. Sometimes it's like some silvery light, and then sometimes it's a ring of fire, and then sometimes, have you ever seen that? Susan, you know what? I can certainly, if you want to message me apart from being here, I can certainly tell you what I do. But Google it. If you Google how to do a YouTube live stream, it'll walk you through the steps. You know, but you have to have an encoder. So if you don't have an encoder, that may be why you can't do it. Well, I had a beautiful house in Las Vegas. The house that I rented was beautiful, but the energy was just intense for me. I mean, it's desert energy, you know. It's like survival energy. So what I would see, I'm just sharing this with you for those of you that want to know what it feels like to put energetic protection on yourself, okay? And I'm trying to make it as simple as I can for those of you, and you don't have to be any sort of religion or faith or anything. I'm just saying most people have seen a picture of the Divine Mother or of Mary. So what I would image myself, so those pictures actually are Samantha, maybe you could, if you wanted to talk to tell Susan, you know, how to do it, you can too. It's super easy, Susan. Why don't you, I'm telling you, Google it. If you Google it, it'll give you a step-by-step instructions better than I can tell you, because it's going to be dependent upon what your computer setup is, what your camera setup is, and what your software setup is. And if you want to stream without an encoder, you can go to Ustream. And if you go to Ustream, you can Ustream live without an encoder. You can use your iPhone, okay, or your device. And then you can go from Ustream and upload your video to YouTube. Okay, Susan? I hope that helps you. Trust me, I'm not the techie of the world. I'm not the techie. So, anyway, back to the protection. So, I'm sorry, guys. It's people chatting with you, and you get off on it. You get like off in the chat thing. So, those pictures where they show you the Divine Mother with her blue mantle, and then there's usually like a silver ray, and then there's like some sort of diamond light, and then sometimes fire, right? Then you can, those are all steps for protection. So I used to, before I would go into Caesar's Palace, and I used to work 14-hour days there, you guys, it was long. I would just see myself with that blue mantle. I used to say to myself, Divine Mother, blue mantle, and then I would say, in silver light, in diamond light, and fire. You know, the perpetual flame of love. And I used to do that to myself over and over and over again before I would go in, because the energies in there were intense. Not to mention that I worked in sort of a cutthroat industry where the people that my employees are that way too. So it was eye-opening. So if you guys have never done any sort of energetic protection on yourself, you know, or some people like just want to put themselves in a bubble of white light, that works too. You can put yourself in a bubble of white light. You can put yourself in a bubble of, but I'm just sharing with you that that's a super easy way to give yourself an energetic protection. Okay. Hi, Lynn. Oh, have fun. Have a wonderful time, Frida. You're right, Bridgeline. As a last resort, you can ask a child how to stream live. You're absolutely right. You know what I find is that technology, like if you don't stay on top of it, and I definitely don't, if you don't stay on top of it, it changes all the time. And I also find that, you know, the more you update your computer, sometimes it changes things. Like when you're doing your daily or weekly, however you guys do your system upgrades, stuff like that happens. So I'm just going to glue inside here. Now you don't have to glue it, but I want my cover to be I want the inside part to be covered as well. I guess it would help if I'd cut it straight, but I didn't cut it straight. You're here. Hi, Bet. Hi, Susan. Hi, Danina. I love you guys. I'm so happy you're here with me. I'm so happy you're here with me. So chat me up and talk to me about other stuff that's not technologically, that doesn't require technology stuff, because you guys, you would get a better chance of Googling it and getting something right than you would for me. I don't know how and why things work for me, but they do, and sometimes they don't. But I'm just saying, like, I can't. My oldest daughter is a computer, the one that's living in China. She does computer programming and computer engineering and graphic design. She's a really good artist. Anyway, so, you know, like I send her stuff and she's like, "How did you find this?" Guys, I don't know. You know, so they all laugh at me. They go, you know, "Don't ask Mom how she found it, because she can't tell you again." She cannot tell you again. So tomorrow, I want you guys to be kind to yourselves. I mean, the energies are building, okay? And you have to realize this is the earth. This is sort of like the earth's cry too. This is the earth's wake-up call for us. Like saying, look, you guys, you live here. You take all my stuff. You kill all my animals. You do all the stuff that, you know, that you think is proper, and there's some kickback to that. So you guys got to be like, you know, you're polluting my space. So just be in tune with yourself. If you don't feel like going out tomorrow, don't put yourself, call in sick. I mean, don't put yourself in an energy space where you know your energy is your most precious commodity. So don't take it in places that don't work for you. And I'm not advising you to go out and quit your job, but I am advising you to learn how to put protection around yourself, or do whatever you need to do. Take an Epsom salt bath, walk in nature, plant your feet on the ground, you know, do things that enhance your living experience. And, you know, realize that, you know, your energy is the most precious commodity that you have. So don't be taking it in places where it's going to be pooped on. You know, sometimes, and I was talking to a friend of mine about this. Okay, so, guys, I was married for a long time. I was married for 25 years. Maybe even, 25 years. Maybe 26 years. And my ex-husband was a very nice person, you know. But what happened in our relationship is our energy fields didn't match up anymore. He didn't do anything wrong. Like, one of you doesn't have to be wrong for it not to suit you. I mean, think about your life when you're in your 20s, right? You're in your 20s and you do all these things that you would probably not do in your 50s, right? You're having an MRI on your head tomorrow? Oh no. Danina, I don't know how long it's going to last after this moon thing. I don't really know. I don't know the ins and outs of the whole thing, but I know that As long as you're feeling it, it's there. And it's a systems upgrade for all of us, okay? So we look at it as being bad, but it's almost like, okay, have you ever been attached to something like, let me see, what was I attached to that I was like, and when I got a new one, I was like, why was I ever attached to that? Maybe like a car. So you have an old car and you've had lots of great memories in it, and you love this car and it's still perfectly good, and you're like me and you like to recycle, so you try to hold on to the very last second of everything, and then something happens and you're forced to get a new car, and then you start driving this newer car than your older car, and you go, why did I hold on to this for so long, right? So it's an energy upgrade for all of us, but it's not Sarita, you're so funny. But it doesn't always come in the version in the way we think it is, right? So allow it to go. So back to the husband thing. So our energies just didn't match. It's like having a friend that you have something in common with, right? You have friends and then they don't grow with you, or they don't, not that they have to share your views 100%, but energetically you have to be a match. Do any of you guys have friends that just call you up and dump on you, and just dump and dump and dump and dump and dump on you, and then you get off and you're more exhausted from talking to them? You're like, or you start to dread their phone calls. That's sort of like a clue to say that your energy's not a match anymore. You know? And you can love somebody. You can totally love them. But if their energy doesn't work with you, let it go. I mean, it just like, you know, nobody's going to look out for you but you. So, I mean, he and I didn't have like some awful, he didn't do anything horrible, I didn't do anything horrible. Our energy just wasn't a match anymore. Okay? So, Amanda, I'm going to tell you right now, start doing the calamari on your friends. Vicky, your mother does count. You know what? The people that you're... Trish says what she says to the person calling her. Are you done throwing up on me? Okay, so we are surrounded... You guys always get me in the most philosophical things. Okay, so we come into this life, and we've all chosen our... Whether you want to believe it or not, we've all chosen our parents, we've chosen our family, we come in like a soul pact, right? That's why you girls are here with me, because you're part of my soul pact, right? You're part of my tribe. So... the people closest to you are here to teach you the biggest lessons. And most of it is, you ready for this, girls? Let it go, let it go. Can't hold me back anymore. Let it go, let it go. So just because someone's your mother does not mean that you have to indulge and listen to the negativity from them. You can just, but you do have to find a way. You do have to find a way to cope, right? Yes, Dee, but see, you had to let it go, and you're better for it. The people, places, things, times, and events in our lives that we've come in to witness and learn lessons from, we're all here to learn lessons. You know, that's all it is. Grace, I have the same thing. Good for you. Vicky bought an answering machine. Awesome. You know what I do? Because I definitely have those relatives. I have this one relative of my sister, and I always dread talking with her. She's super negative, right? And, like, bad things always happen around her. But I love her, you know, and I don't want to be totally mean and rude, but I just limit my exposure to it. And when I do, I find ways. I'm crafty at changing the subject. Does that make sense? You know, like, okay, I'm crafty at changing the subject. Oh, I'm going to love this. So somebody asked me how I'm going to... Grace, I'm in it too. We're all in the same thing. There's no one better than or worse. We're all in it the same way, girl. We are all in it the same way. Okay, so somebody asked me how I was going to sew my stuff in. Okay, so for these, I think I'm just going to do a twine binding where you sew your signatures together separately and then you twine bind them. But you could poke holes in, you know, the same way you do your signatures and other things, poke holes in them and put them in here. Or you could, this is so small, you could even use a hair elastic. But I'm going to really enjoy it. I just want to get the papers to lay down flat. And these are all those newspapers, you guys. So, yeah, you have to be gentle with your newspaper. Okay, guys, my new favorite paint card is this Starbucks card. You know, somehow in our collective consciousness, you're right, Lynn, the folks are put here to teach us lessons, but it's also to teach you this too, Lynn. You don't have to stay in it to experience it. Like, you don't have to sit there and be dumped on just because somebody is your relative. You know, you have to take care of you. And sometimes it's like, I always like to think about, you know, when you're riding on an airplane and they say put your mask on first before you put it on your child. Well, it's the same thing with your life and your friends, okay? So sometimes you don't have to have a really bad thing to know that somebody's not healthy for you. It doesn't make them bad and you good. It just doesn't work with your energy, you know? I'm gonna love it. So I have all these little boxes, and so I hope this inspires you to make some little tiny books. I don't know if I'm gonna make these little glue books. I might make these like, you know, little glue books, or maybe I'll make them like little quote books. Or somebody said they wanted some Bible journaling or something like that, Bible quote journaling. You could do this for those Bible quotes if you wanted to, like, make yourself little pages and then put your Bible quotes in your little journal and keep it in your purse. So I have 2 covers going on. 2 covers so far with my painting papers, and I'm excited about that. And let me just look and see what I have. The other boxes, I have a bag of boxes. Hi, Kathy. Kathy says it's her first time making it when the chat was still going this week. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So you guys know I have a friend coming to visit, right? She's coming anyway. She lives in Sydney, and she's coming to visit me on the 6th of September, I think, or the 7th of September. So I really have to get my calamari butt in gear, okay? Because let's face it, it's one thing if you are a crafter and you have your space is a mess. It's another thing if you have somebody come to your mess and they're not a crafter. She could not understand my big mess of painting papers. So I'm really taking my, oh Noni, I'm glad you're here with us. I'm really taking my calamari serious this week, you guys. So I have like countdown till the friend visit, and there's a big pasta box. I don't know if I'm gonna do that one. Countdown to my friend visit, and I know where you're at, Fiona, so that's why when she comes, I'm hoping that she's going to take some stuff back to you. She's coming on the 6th of September. I don't know how long she's staying. She hasn't quite told me. And so I'm hoping she'll, like, I can give her some, like, cool bits and pieces to bring back to you. Hopefully she'll have, because she's sort of a free spirit backpacker, so hopefully she'll have brought some luggage. Hopefully she won't be coming luggage free, you know? But that was my goal. I haven't asked her yet, but I'm certainly sure she'll say yes. Why wouldn't she say yes? Okay, guys, I'm going to cover one of these envelopes with my painting papers. I know, right? A visitor is a great motivation to purge. You always feel better after craft and chat? I always feel better after craft and chat, too. Buddy asked me the other day, he goes, what are you guys talking about? And I go, everything. I go, we craft and chat. He's like, oh, good. I sometimes save these things. Do you guys save them? The brads? Like, where do they... First of all, why would we call something like a brad and then we would give a man that name? It seems so stupid. Janina, I always need a good laugh. Janina said she turned off her light and put her feet on the ground and did her breathing when we were doing our little meditation, and then she forgot to turn her light back on. She's fussy cutting in the dark, and she goes, why can't I see? Danina, you know what? Oh, but Fiona, I want to send you some stuff. So I'm going to, I'm going to ask her to send, are you kidding? After that amazing lace thing. Okay, so I have to make a confession, you guys. You ready? So the other day, Hottie comes home and I have, hi Ash! I have all of my lace that Fiona sent me on the bed. Okay, all the lace. And I'm like, I'm sitting in all this lace and I'm like, breathing, like thinking, okay, inspire me. I want to see what the project needs to be, you know. And I fell asleep. Okay, I fell asleep in the lace. And he comes home and he goes, he comes home and I'm asleep. I fell asleep in it was like for a few minutes. I probably was asleep maybe 15 minutes, and I didn't know anyway, he comes home and he says, so this is what you do when I leave for, like, he had just gone to the store or something. He goes, you get out all your lace and you roll around in it. I was like, I was not rolling around in my lace. I said I was just trying to be inspired. I just was trying to be inspired to figure out what I was going to make. You know, it was like, does anybody else have to live with their supplies? Like, you want to look at it, you want to be with it, you want to, like, so I just was laying it all out where I could see it, you know, the best. And then I happened to lay down for a minute. I was like, closing my eyes going, okay, what should it be? Like, am I going to make this book? Am I going to make a doll? Like, what am I going to make, right? And I was just trying to be inspired by it all. Fall asleep. Thinks I'm, like, rolling around in lace. I guess he's come home before and seen me falling asleep with a bunch of books around me, too, so maybe he does think that's what I do. You know, like when you get a bunch of... Does anybody else do that besides me? When you get a bunch of cool books from a thrift store? Like, you get all these, you know, cool used books. Or, you know, somebody or one of my friends will bring me a whole bunch of books, and then I'll be, like, all excited, and I'll put towels on my bed, and then I'll lay them all out so I can look through them, and then sometimes I just fall asleep because I'm doing too many things and just say, I'm going to lay down for a minute. You carry around your latest book for a few days. Oh, Vicki, I'm glad I'm not the only one. He is hilarious, though. Fiona, you should have seen him this morning. He was hilarious. He was getting himself ready for hot yoga. He's quite comical, actually. He doesn't even know it. He was getting himself ready for hot yoga. Oh, no, I put my envelope. There was something wet on here. I must have brushed it against my iced tea. Oh, well, it won't matter. He's quite comical. He gives me a good laugh. I try not to laugh at him too much, though, because I don't want him to be, like, get all, like, paranoid or whatever, but I do laugh at him. Okay, guys, I'm in love with these painty circles. I know somebody said yesterday, I want to see you paint something else other than painty circles. But I like these painty circles. I don't know why. Like the painty circles. I like the painty circles. You slept with your books too, Trish? Oh, good! Cassandra says she always has her crafts in her bed. Oh, woohoo! You girls really are my tribe. You girls really are my tribe. I'm telling you. It's so ridiculous, but I don't know what it is, you guys. You just have to, like, I have to, like, be with it. It's like I get, like, some new things, and I don't know. You guys, he used to come home, like, I used to craft in my bedroom sometimes. We didn't used to have a television, okay? He got me a television when I turned 50. You guys, we didn't used to have a TV. We just had a computer. And we just had a computer, and we didn't have any sort of television. So I was looking to see if I had some wax paper, and I know I do. I just don't know. This is what I get for, like, cleaning up my stuff. Like, I've been really diligent in cleaning it up, and I probably put the wax paper inside of a book. This is ridiculous, and I don't have any more. Oh, well. I didn't want to get it so gluey. Well, I'll use this and put it underneath it so I don't get it on my table. So I used to, we used to not have, like, a television, and not that I was anti-TV, you guys, it's just, sometimes when you have kids and they're, like, a little too obsessed with things, you just, like, let it go, right? And I told you guys I had a daughter that was, like, she used to, like, hold us to task with the whole television, like, if we were out and one of her shows was coming on, never heard the end of it. Anyway, so before we had a TV, I used to craft in my bedroom, because we had a computer. Had a computer monitor in there, and I could watch, and my computer was in there, and I could watch Netflix, right? So he would come home sometimes, and our bed was like my crafting table. So it was a huge, huge mess. And he would come home and he would be like, can I? Yes, I have my daughter in my 40s, Fiona, I did. I mean, I have a daughter that's 25, going to be 26. But I did. I had my youngest daughter. I'm 53 now. I'll be 54 next year. And I had her when I was 43. I had my youngest daughter when I was 43. My other kids I had when I was in, one of them I had when I was in my 20s, and one of them I had when I was in my 30s. And then I had this one in my 40s. So he would come home, and there was like he would come home, and he would be like, he wanted to come and sit in there with me, and I would be, so then you know what I made him do? It was like, well, pull up a chair. Like, I wouldn't let him sit on the bed, because I had all my stuff, like, I had all my stuff out there, you guys, and I would have on whatever I would have on in the background. But now that we have a television that's not, and then we got rid of our television, and then we got another one. He got us a television, I guess. Well, he got me a television when I turned 50, and then we moved for like that short period of time back to the mainland for like 6 months, and I gave the TV away. And he just bought us a new television not that long ago. The daughter that's obsessed with TV isn't here she's at college, so she doesn't, and she's not that way anymore. But he bought me a TV when I turned 50. Can you believe that? That was my 50th birthday present. You know what he bought me? Because I didn't want anything. He bought me, I love old movies. How many of you guys like old movies? Like really old movies, like Fred Astaire, Ginger Roger movies, and my mom used to be an old movie buff too. And it just kind of reminds me of her, you know, the movie thing, the old movie thing. So he bought me a television. Let me see. I want to see. I like the gold circles, so I wanted the gold circles to be on this. So I guess I could put it more on this side. He bought me a television, and he downloaded on a USB all these old movies. Like I have a friend that lives in LA that restores old movies, and he has all these subscriptions and all these things where he has like old movies. And so he sent me as a birthday present with Hottie like 5 of my favorite or 10 of my favorite, I can't even remember now, of old movies on a USB. And I got to watch old movies. That's what he gave me. I love the original King and I love all those kind of movies, you guys. So that's what he gave me for when I turned 50. And so I could download them onto my smart TV and watch them anytime I wanted to. And then we moved back to the mainland for a minute when my job sort of forced me to, until I decided that my health was better than working for them. And so then we didn't have a TV for a while, and he got us a new one recently, and I don't have all those old movies anymore, you guys. I mean, I guess I could call my friend and say, would you... I mean, some of them I have on DVD, but you know what I mean. So that was cool. Isn't that cool? Bye, Lana. I like to type with one hand too, and I always type in lowercase too, Carla. I get it. So if you guys haven't made a journal cover like this before, this is a painty paper. And do you see why? I mean, it's newspaper, it's newsprint, so it's not going to be, it's fine with me, but I'm just letting you know, it's not ever going to be totally 100% straight, but if I'd used wet glue, it would have been worse. Okay, so, and keep one of these cards clean. Mine are all painted up, but I found one in my purse. One of my daughters always, she gets rewards from her job, and they give her Starbucks cards, and she doesn't drink Starbucks, but I do. I like Starbucks. She doesn't drink coffee, so she gives them to me. So this one I found in my purse. They'd given her rewards from her job, and it came on this really cool Starbucks card that said Hawaii. And so I kept it after I used it for my coffee or whatever that was on there, whatever, how much ever it was. It's like $25 or something. So I love these. Fiona says, "Yippee! The glue worked with her washi tape on baking paper bag on a baking paper bag." Oh, that's awesome. So you definitely want to, if you want it to be less wrinkly. I mean, it's not going to totally take all the wrinkles out, but it works. And I put this paper down because otherwise the glue gets stuck to my little mat, and then whatever I lay down to it can get stuck to it. So, yes, I love old movies. And Cassandra mentioned yesterday when we were talking about television things, we didn't mention that she likes the Hallmark Channel. I like the Hallmark Channel too. So, one of my kids, you know, the one that's in China right now, her and her husband, they like to watch the Hallmark Channel and watch all the Christmas movies. And they watch them all year round, especially the cheesier ones, and they laugh and laugh and laugh. She has got the plethora of Christmas movie, like Hallmark Channel Christmas movies, you guys. So when they were here with me for a little while, we watched the Hallmark Channel Christmas movies. The Hallmark Channel Christmas movies we definitely watched. What? I'm missing it. You watch Hallmark ones? I like them too. I mean, some of them are like so cheesy, but I love it. I like Christmas movies. Do you guys like Christmas movies too? Old movies are my favorite. I mean, any sort of old movie, like even old black and white movies. I love that. So how many of you guys are going to do something tomorrow for the eclipse? And what time, do you guys even know what time it is in your time zone? I haven't even looked here, you guys. Beth says you can watch movies on YouTube commercial free. Yes, you can. You are right. Guys, I told you my newest thing is that silly Homeland show. It's gotten a little bit weird though. But maybe it was weird the whole time and I just wasn't watching, because I don't watch it like I'm Samantha, I like British series too. We talked about that yesterday. I'm like addicted to those. I like them. I guess I'm gonna cover this up first and then I'll. You're staying put tomorrow? I don't know what the Acorn Channel is. What's the Acorn Channel? I don't know what that is. You guys just, just do that little grounding. You're how do you take the day off, Trish, and you're going to hang out with some friends? Oh, that's good. Ash says the max eclipse is 10:19 a.m. her time, Portland Daylight Time. Good for you that you're on vacation, Samantha. Brenda says she's going to be tearing somebody at Dell Computers a new rear end during the eclipse while the power is surging. No, Brenda. I don't even know what time it will be here for us, but you guys can feel the energies building. So they're closing the schools for the eclipse near you. I don't think they're closing anything here. You guys, we're so backwards. Nobody would close anything here. Unless there was a fire and you couldn't drive to school. So, It starts at 9 in the morning and goes to 11:30. Okay. Acorn is a British channel, and they show Canadian films too. Oh, cool. I'm watching that show Homeland. It got kind of weird yesterday, though. But I think I must have missed something. I'm not watching it intently, like I'm going around doing my own stuff. Oh, Grace is sharing something good. Hi, Lucky. Grace is saying you can use your phone as a selfie and look at the eclipse from behind you. Oh, very cool. And Diana says that she thinks that they're doing it because so they won't be held accountable for blinding the kids. Oh, well. You know, I remember when we were a kid, we made those pinhole boxes to watch the eclipse. Did you guys ever do that when you were a kid in school? Yeah, we did. No eclipse in South Africa. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it from here either, Sarita. But you're feeling the energies of it, so it doesn't matter. The kids got the day after the eclipse. Wow, these people, it's like intense. What is the series on Hallmark? I don't know what the series is. All the Hallmark movies are made where you are, Lisa? All the Hallmark Christmas movies are? My kids my daughter, it's so funny if you guys could see the two of them, like they're like laughing hysterically. I'm like, what are you watching? Of course, they're watching it from their computer and when they were here in their bedroom. And I was like, because they would be laughing. I was, what are you guys doing? They're like, we're watching the Hallmark Channel. We're watching Hallmark Christmas movie. Oh, people were selling fake eclipse glasses. D, oh, that's terrible. So I know you guys, we talked about doing a zombie apocalypse journal, but I'm going to need a little bit more time than a week because I got to get some images together, and that means I have to print them out and all that stuff, and my printer's not working right now. The eclipse isn't visible in Sydney either. I don't think it's visible here either. I don't, honestly, but I may be wrong. You don't have to see it to feel it, right? Because we've all been feeling it. We have all been feeling it. We have all been feeling that energy. You live on the coast of Oregon, Grace? Is that where you live? Honolulu, you can see 25% at 6:15 in the morning. Okay, well then I guess I'll have to get up. Well, I'll be awake anyway. Grace, do you live on do you live in the oh, you live in Georgia? Cassandra says she watches the series she watches on the Hallmark Channel is The Good Witch and When Calls the Heart. I'll have to look at it. Burning Man peeps and the Eclipse peeps go to the coast. So you'll get a visible eclipse in 2018, Fiona? Is that what you just said? Okay, I'm in love with these painting papers. I know you guys may not be in love with them, but I'm in love with them. It's so ridiculous how much I like these painting papers. It's so silly, but I do. I'm liking the painting papers. I'm so liking the painting papers. Okay, what? Yeah, people are driving to Oregon. You live near Ashland? Yeah, we were talking about that. I was talking about that with Hottie last night. We were talking about because he for a while he lived in Portland, and his kids still live in Portland, and so we were talking about. He was talking to one of his kids or something, and they were saying that they were out of gas, and not they weren't personally out of gas, but talking about something similar to what you're talking about, Grace. That they're out of gas, and that they have a bunch of stuff going on, and it's like the stuff that we wouldn't even imagine, right? So we were just telling them to be safe. You did your painting papers and circles too? Susan just writes, 6-year-olds have way too much energy. You have your grandson, Susan? They do have a lot of energy. I agree with you there 100%. They have a lot of energy. A lot of energy. A lot of energy. I'm going to trim the side of this off a little bit. These are my Q-tip circles. It's so ridiculous, you guys. So what did one of you guys write me? Do you ever paint with a paintbrush? Yes, I paint with a paintbrush. I do. But sometimes I prefer, like, especially if I don't have, I prefer using, like, if I'm going to spread large surfaces. I mean, if I had a matte knife, a palette knife, I'd use that. But Hottie has all that. Okay, I could go and use all of his art supplies, but I don't. So I just like my own homemade ones. And what's so funny is, like, sometimes he'll come in, like, later on, and he'll be like, oh, and I'll see him, he'll say, what did you use to do that? And I'll say Q-tips or whatever, credit card. And then I'll go watch him work on a canvas later on if he's making a painting. And he'll be using Q-tips and a credit card. So I laugh. He says my low-tech tools take over his... My low-tech tools take over his expensive high-tech tools. So I'm good with it. Because I'm not too precious when it comes to, like, art supplies. You guys see, I mean, I'm using throwaway flyers. For me, I think it was really freeing to realize at some point in my life, growing up, that you can make art from anything, anywhere, anytime. It doesn't have to be just because you are, like, you don't have to go get the next best thing. And you don't need the newest paint and the newest paper and the newest this or whatever, the new that, the da-da-da-da. I'm not saying that I can't buy into it, because there's sometimes, like, I see some of you ladies post, like, some really cool supplies, or in other groups they post, like, whatever they've gone shopping for, and I think, oh, I want to try that, right? But it's not necessary. You don't need any of it to have a good time and to enjoy yourself. So that's just where I'm at, ladies. That is where I'm at. This end isn't cut straight. I'm into the recycling thing. I always have been. I always like making something from nothing or something from someone else's trash. Crafty's saying she wants to put a design paper in front of the book cover. What can you use to glue it or seal it? You mean like I'm doing right now? Like this? Like putting on the inside of your envelope? I mean, I don't know. What are you making it out of? I just want to give you guys a little bit of 411 about Mod Podge. Okay, so I know some of you ladies are making the power pack, making the cards that we're all going to make, and hopefully we'll swap a deck in the near future. If you put Mod Podge on them and you put them in the mail, they may stick together. So if you want to use stuff to seal it, do it with like an Elmer's Extreme in water, or do it with a gloss medium, like a Liquitex gloss medium or whatever other brand of gloss medium that you can have. Mod Podge doesn't weather well. I don't know what it is about it. I mean, I've made things with Mod Podge and I like the way it feels. And if it's a journal I use all the time, great, but they can stick together. So you may find yourself using baby powder or cornstarch to you know, try to keep them from being unstuck. But I don't want you to go and slather everything with okay, Samantha said she saw some mousse you wanted to make. I don't know what we're talking about here. And Danita says her daughter threw some stuff in the trash, literally the trash outside, and he brought it back in. Hey, I've done that before too. Go and join the Stampers group. It's a fun group to join. Golden Matte Medium does rock. Liquitex Matte Medium rocks too. Ash's Mod Podge has a varnish and it's formula and it sticks bad. What am I snapping? Snap, Fiona. Snap. What am I snapping? Baby powder does get rid of the stickiness, but the thing that I found too is if you go and you mail it and say, like, you know, like I'm sending it, say I'm mailing it to, I don't know, Florida, and in between here and there's all these climate changes, it can very well stick into the envelope. So I love Mod Podge. I use it for a lot of my own personal stuff, but if I'm going to send stuff to people, I don't use it on there. So I would say if you can make, if you buy Elmer's Glue All, you know, their PVA glue. Elmer's has a glue called Glue All, and that's a PVA, which is like, or Aleene's Tacky Glue does the same thing too. If you want to use it to make a coat, like if you want to use it to make a protective coat on the outside of your journal, you can, it won't stick. Samantha says she's been using papers between her pages so the Mod Podge won't stick to your pages and you don't like it. So switch. You have to, unfortunately, I don't know what the product is, but get an Elmer's Glue All. Let me see. Like this. This is Elmer's Glue All. Elmer's Glue All, and if you make it and you mix it with water, you can mix it, I think it's like 2 parts glue to 1 part water. It'll make like a thinner, you know, a thinner coating solution that'll work for you. Or do your Liquitex or matte medium. And you can get matte medium. You can get matte medium in semi-gloss, gloss, and so you can buy, yeah. You don't have to, you know, just check it out. I mean, test it. Like a bottle of Elmer's Glue All, a tiny bottle of, especially right now. Cassandra said she found glue in her garage and she's taking it back to the city with her. Good for you, Cassandra. Liquitex or Golden's matte medium works really well. But, you know, the thing is that you have to, like, test it out. Like, I test my stuff out on stuff that I'm not, like, married to. Like, I'm not like, oh, God, that's got to be, like, my, you know, next best thing. And then that way, if it doesn't work out, I didn't ruin something I really loved. Does that make sense? I have to slip. This has got a slight curve in it, and I want to glue the insides down, but it's, like, making it buckle. You guys, it's all a trial and error, and it's also the materials that you use. And sometimes some paints don't stick with some of the glues. So you have to, like, test it out. Like, I wouldn't sell something. Like, if you're doing this to sell some work or whatever. If you're doing it for sale, I think I would totally do my testers, and I would never use Mod Podge on something you're going to sell. Unless you're doing, like, you know, gluing it to, like, a glass or something. I don't think it sticks to stuff that's glued to glass. But in a journal and stuff like that, it gets sticky. And nothing's more disappointing than you putting tons of energy and effort into your work, and then you know, and not coming out the way you like it, or you send it to somebody and it left your house all fine, but however it traveled to wherever it traveled to, the glue didn't like it. Yeah, Liquitex or Golden Matte Medium. I mean, you can check out other brands. That's just what I have because of Hottie. In fact, I have a bottle. He must have taken it in the other room. Thought I had a bottle here, but I don't. You know, he must have, because I do use his expensive stuff like that. I mean, a little bit goes a long way, so you don't have to like make a huge investment in it if because it is pricey. It's not cheap. It's cheap as like, I don't know, how much is a bottle, Susan? I haven't bought one in a long time. Like $7 or $8? $7 or $8, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Hi, Lily. What else do you girls want to chat about since we're chatting and crafting? Since we're chatting and crafting. Since we're having a craft and chat, what else do you girls want to craft and chat about? I need to make a... Making foam stamps like Carla. I've made those stamps. You guys, when I used to teach little kids, so when I lived in New York City, I used to run, and I've done all kinds of stuff. But I used to run like an after-school program for kids there in the school that my daughter went to. It was like one of those things where, oh, we can't afford to have one. So I was like, well, we need one. Okay, I'll run it. So I used to make those foam stamps. You can also make those same similar stamps, and I was going to do it with you guys, and I haven't, out of... You know those the foam vegetable trays that you get? Meat tray. You know how meat comes in? I wouldn't suggest you do it with a meat tray unless you bleach the meat tray, because those have a kind of bacteria and stuff on them. But you can also sometimes go to the butcher and ask them if they'll give you a couple of them. But if you use the ones that are similar for your vegetable tray, it works just as well. So you don't have to go buy Kids Fun Foam, but Kids Fun Foam is great too. So you can make those. I used to make mono printing plates out of them. Have you guys ever done that? Like where you make a drawing on the plate, and then you take acrylic paint and you roll it on with a brayer. It makes like stamps, and you can do your printing just like that. That works good too. So I have done it all various ways. So that works really good. Those work as well. Those are really fun and super easy to make. You just need a pencil, and not a sharp pencil, like a dull pencil. Or you could use a stylus if you have a device that uses a stylus. They work great too. Hi, Sarah. You went to PS40 on 20th Street? My girls went to, they went to school on the Upper East Side. It was a little tiny private school called Manhattan Country School. Yeah, I lived in New York City. That's where I moved here from New York City. Cassandra, I moved to Maui from New York City. Can you imagine? Like, what was I thinking, right? I moved from New York City here. I think it might be better if I just try to cut this and then... I lived in a couple places when I lived in New York. I lived on 89th Street between 1st and 2nd. And then I lived in Stuyvesant Town, Peter Cooper Village. If you guys don't know New York City, that's like down in the 20s. Welcome, Australia in the house. While you guys are out here, Lily, New York's expensive. Hawaii's even more expensive. Hawaii, believe it or not, if you guys come here on vacation, it is expensive. Very expensive. And you wouldn't even imagine how on the most ridiculous things. It's expensive. So you guys shout out and tell everybody where you're from. Tell everybody, those of you that want to just, just shout out. I live in Maui, Hawaii. Those of you that are first just joining us. Susan's from Texas, upstate New York, California, Victoria, Geelong in Victoria, in Sydney, and Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Texas, and Tampa, Florida. Awesome, Cassandra. Lily is from India. In Indiana, and Edgewater, Florida, in Missouri, and New York, and Portland, and Chicago. I'm loving that some of you guys are chatting in Deer Park, Texas. I know where Deer Park is. Noni, I was born. Are you ready for this? You guys ready for this? I was born in... Noni will know where this is, and Susan will know where this is. In Texas City, Texas. Can you guys imagine being born in Texas City, Texas? That's where I was born. Susan works in Deer Park, Noni. You guys can, you know what? You guys can all be crafty best friends right over there. Newport Richie, New South Wales. You are near Susan and Bet, Noni. I promised my sister and I are gonna go visit our aunt who still lives in the Galveston area. So when we go, I'm gonna definitely make a point to go and you crop and bug in Texas City? No way. Oh my God, Noni, it's a small world. Denver. You got a jelly plate? Awesome. I got all the stuff. I have a couple of jelly plates, but I got all the stuff to make myself a jelly plate, so I'm thinking that I may venture and make myself one in a couple of sizes that I was thinking of, and if I do, I'll show it to you. Cassandra, what is Mile High City? What? New Hampshire? Oh my gosh. That won't come to Australia because of your dangerous venomous snakes and spiders. Ah. Noni, we are a tribe. Bridgeline is from Brighton, Sussex, Southern England. With a mile high price. You guys are so funny. You guys, I've often toyed with having a crafting retreat here in Maui. And if I ever get it together to do it, I'll let you guys know. I've toyed with the idea for a little bit, but it just hasn't been the right time. Your sister lives in California, and then she comes to Hawaii all the time, Lily? Oh, that's awesome. I am going to make one. I have so many of them, though. It feels like a little bit of waste, but I have that glycerin. I bought it. Well, come on over, Fiona. You guys, come on over to Hawaii. Can I tell you guys, it's a beautiful place to visit. It really is. Maple Ridge, British Columbia in the house. Is that what you're asking? Maple Ridge, BC. I'm just trying to get the paper to fold over, and then I'm going to have to add another piece of paper in on top of it anyway. I was going to try and bend it all over, but then I thought, you know what, it looks better. I mean, it's easier if I just, because I always have to add a piece of paper anyway, because the thing's never long enough. I would love it if you guys would come. I'll let you know. I did a spiritual meditation retreat in a couple years ago at a beautiful little campground here that has like a communal kitchen, and because it's very expensive to come here, you know, to stay here. So I did a meditation retreat a few years ago. I can't remember how many years now. A couple years ago. And it was really fun. So if we did that I could do. That we could, because then everybody could afford it, you know? Otherwise it's too expensive, you know, to come. But there are places, unless you're like, and it's fine for those that, if we did do it, didn't want to stay in that type of place. They wanted to, like, you know, go to the Ritz and do their thing. That's fine too. It's just, you know, it's expensive. Hi, Scotty. Scotty, I loved the pictures you posted of your dog and your kitty. Your dog is beautiful. Danina, it is ridiculously expensive here. Okay, like the cheapest place you can stay. I don't know now with Airbnb. Maybe you can find some places Airbnb. What's kind of cool about the place that the camping thing, Susan, Ash, is that it has a variety of things. Like you could pitch a tent and camp. They also have like cabins, and then they also have what they call like a version of it where it's like the walls are all screened in, and they have like shades, but they don't have, you know, like walls, and then there's bathrooms and stuff like that, and then they had a communal kitchen. It's really cool. Your WhatsApp chats are epic, Lily. That's awesome. Boo photobombed. Scotty, your dog is gorgeous. Okay, your dog is gorgeous. I mean, both your dog and your cat, but your little, I saw the bigger picture of your pup. Gorgeous puppy. Gorgeous fur friend. Fur baby. So Charlie has decided, for those of you that don't know, I have a dog, and her name is Charlie, and she's a rescue, and she's a whippet, and we love her, but she has got some peculiar stuff going on, okay, guys? She is a peculiar little pup, and she has decided that she is a child, like a human child, and anything my 10-year-old does, she thinks she needs to do too. So right now, she has been like, if the 10-year-old goes outside and the 10-year-old doesn't take her, she gets like, she pouts. It's ridiculous. Like yesterday was a whole day of pouting until she took her. Go glamping in the backyard. I don't need to glamp. You guys, but the camping place I'm telling you about is right on the ocean. It's really beautiful. It's right on the ocean. So it's beautiful. I'll let you know if I do it. If I break down and do it, I'll let you know. I'll let you know, and I'll invite you all and tell you what it is and that sort of thing. They have kayaks there and stuff like that. You can kayak in the ocean. So basically you could walk outside of your tent or wherever if you didn't choose the tent accommodation and you chose the little cabin or whatever, you walk right outside into the ocean, to the beach. Danina, I would love to tell you those folklore things aren't true, but people have had that sort of energetic experience where they take stuff like that and bad things happen. Trust me, the post office gets barraged with people mailing back their rocks because stuff happens to them. So, you know, although I would like not to believe it, I have firsthand seen like the post office get like tons of rocks that are brought back. So I don't know what the whole thing is about that. You know? So that's so sweet. Noni, but it's true though. I mean, they do tell you, they say the island has special energy, which I can vouch for that, and that you shouldn't remove any pieces of the volcanic rock. Now you could take the coral from the ocean and stuff like that, and people have had very weird experiences. I personally haven't, because I don't take any, like when I go to places, I try not to take anything like that. But you live vicariously through others through WhatsApp, is that what you're saying, Lily? I understand. I love to travel. Traveling, I think, is probably my favorite thing of if you ask me, like, if I could do anything, like, if I was going to do anything that would be, like, incredibly meaningful to me or fun or something that I want to do, it's always traveling. I love to travel. I'm not a Four Seasons traveler, if you know what I mean. If I'm a recycled artist, you guys know I don't spend my money on stuff like that. If I'm spending my money making trash junk journals, you know I don't spend my money on stuff like that. I'm liking this cover. I'm liking it. And what? Susan says she's on the no-fly list. I don't believe that for a word. I don't believe that for a minute. Yeah, you could cruise here too. You could always take a boat. You know, Beth, I try to give myself a vacation, even if it's not really like what one would consider a vacation, even if it's a staycation. I try to give myself a vacation. At least once a year, whether I don't do anything. Okay, I'm liking this. I'm liking the painty circles. They're a little, they are a little wonky, but I like them. You know, Disney's not here on my island. It must be on the island of Oahu. I don't know. My island is a little chill, you guys. My island is like, it's like going to the country, honestly. I mean, we do have a couple of shopping places to shop, but for the most part, there's not a lot. There's not a lot of this stuff. Staycations are epic. I totally love it. Lisa says no camping or tool. Lisa, I think if you looked at this camping, they have beds. It's not like you're sleeping on the floor. I like it too, Fiona. I'm like liking the painty circles. I don't know why I'm addicted to the painty circles, girls, but I am. I'm addicted to the painty circles. I'm liking the painty circles. I'm so liking it. I've been to Australia. It's beautiful there. At the time I lived in New York City when I flew there, and it was like a 25-hour flight or something ridiculous. It was very long. Very, very long. Lily, you know, I mean, yes, you do know a lot of people, but it's not so much like that as you would think. I mean, there's more people than that here, and most people work a lot, and many people work 2 jobs just to live here. Your vacation looked awesome, Ash. Staying in a yurt sounds awesome. You know what, Beth? I don't feel funny. Beth is asking, did I ever feel funny being on an island so far away from the mainland? No, I don't. I mean, many people get island fever. I don't. The energy just suits me here. The energy suits me here. When I first moved here, I lived on the island without leaving for like 4 years without leaving, and I think the only reason I left was it was a family thing. You know, like I don't know if it was one of my parents were sick. Honestly, I can't remember why I actually left, but I only left once in the 4 years. And then, obviously, that was a really good grounding, or maybe it was 3 years. That was a really good grounding time for me. And then I love to travel, so I do travel a lot. But traveling from here is far. The campsite I'm talking about, Ash, has like they have little cabins, and then they also have places where you can pitch a tent. They also have tents that they pitch for you. Then they also have what I'm talking about. I don't know what they call it. It's like it's got a roof and it's got walls, but the walls are all screened and they have beds inside. Alta says that when she was flying to the Philippines years ago, she spent 20 minutes in the Honolulu airport, and when she got back on the plane, it was Halloween time. When she got back on the plane, they decorated the plane as you refueled. Oh, that's so funny. Australia is an amazing country. It's huge. It's like so big. Fiona, it's really kind of cool. I mean, it gives you multi-levels of ways. And then they have a communal kitchen, so like you're not really camping. It's not like you're cooking outside. I mean, they have grills and stuff too, but they have like a communal kitchen with refrigeration and stuff. It was worth the move. Yes, I love living here. I don't know how big it is, but it does, put it this way, we had, I think we had 75 people at our meditation retreat, and there was still room for more people. You know what I mean? We had the whole site. I don't know how many people actually it sleeps, but it's quite a lot. I would love to see you, Bridgeline. I would love to travel to Southeast England. I haven't been to England in years, but you never know. I was supposed to go to Australia about 6 months ago, and then I had some stuff come up and I didn't go. So I have a couple of trips to take, but I have very good friends in England, so I may end up there, and if I do, I will totally look you up. Wow, Fiona. I mean, I'm sorry you were sick, but you lost how much weight? How much is that in pounds? I don't know. That's awesome. Congratulations. I'm not a bug girl either, but you know, you can't let that stop you from traveling. It's 4 a.m. where you are, Lily? Where are you in India? I know you've told me, but I can't remember. Okay, I'm really loving this. I want to make something with it right now. Isn't that terrible? So I promise that I'll get my images together for the zombie thing. Aren't we gonna? But 2.4 pounds is a kilogram. So that's like 20 pounds. Oh my gosh, Fiona, that's awesome. Congratulations. You're from the south, like where? South India, like Chennai? Or even further south, like Kerala. Oh, Fiona, congratulations. Congratulations. Alright, see you back here in a few minutes. I'm going to grab another envelope. The boxes that I brought are like really big. I'm going to grab another envelope so that I can glue some more of my painty papers on an envelope. But I will definitely do the zombie thing. I started looking through my images last night, and I thought that I had, okay, I made it like a scary Halloween journal a couple of, like recently, like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. And I had drawn, and Hottie drew some, and one of my kids drew some, and we drew all these, like, you know, crazy, scary, whatever. And I thought I had them, but I don't know why. They're not on my computer. Hyderabad City? Awesome. Lily, India has been the one place that I've probably been the most. I think I've traveled to India at least 7 or 8 times, maybe even more. And I've traveled all over. I mean, there's still lots of places in India that I'd like to see that I never got to go. Congratulations, Fiona. I am thrilled for you. You know, sometimes, I mean, I'm sorry that you were ill to like jumpstart the weight loss process, but sometimes that's what happens. So Noni says she's torn between a comic one and a vintage style zombie. Was I in the service? No, Beth, I wasn't in the service. I don't believe in fighting of any kind. Not even fighting with my sweetheart. Noni, I don't know. So I had these really cool, I had drawn some really cool zombies, and then I had some, and anyway, and then I had some sort of like old movie, if I remember, I can't find, because I didn't take, it was way before I did videos, and I tried to look and see if I had pictures of it, but I thought I took pictures, but I can't find them. It had like some old Boris Karloff style, you know, like vintage movie posters, and that's what I had in there. So I had all these things, and I was like looking for it last night after we talked, and I can't find it, and I can't, honestly, I don't have time to draw between now and Friday. I've got so much stuff to do, but I will definitely do it. So you guys put it on the back burner. We can definitely make it. Start gathering your images. Oh, it sounds, did everybody see what Bridgeline wrote? She says, where she lives, there is local art galleries, museums, old churches, and of course the sea, because you live in Brighton, correct? And the Downs, which is like horse racing, right? And she says it's great to meet up with people because there's lots of stuff to do. Oh my gosh, Lily, you have to travel. Do your power pack, Noni. I'm doing mine, but don't put any Mod Podge on the top of it, because if you're going to mail them, if you decide you want to swap, you don't want them stuck together when they mail. So you can do yours. You could do yours with vampires. It doesn't have to be zombies. We just talked about doing it, and then I thought, oh great, I'm going to gather all my images, and it'll give me something to work toward. Kerala was great. Did you go to all those wells, Lily? You know what? You know the wells where they pour the water over you in Kerala. The 12. Is there 12 wells, or I don't remember how many there are. You're doing the power pack, Vicky, and you have 12 sets to decorate. Woohoo! You know what's really fun about it, though, Vicky? I don't know. Do you give away a lot of stuff? Do you send Happy Mail? No, the downs are the gently rolling hills that surround you. See, Bridgeline, that's something I didn't even know. See, the downs here is a horse race. Horse racing. So you could make yours The Walking Dead, Sarah. What's fun about making the power pack, and for those of you that don't know what the power pack is, the power pack is an empowerment deck of cards. We call it the power pack. Scotty gave it the name. It's an empowerment, it's a deck of cards that are all around female empowerment, right? And here's the beginning of mine. And I have plenty more to do. This is my glue paper. I have plenty more to do. And so we're making a deck of cards. And if you want to be part of our swap, you need to make yourself a deck of cards to keep for yourself and one you're going to send to me. And when you mail it to me, depending upon how many people participate, and we don't have a deadline yet for it, so everybody has time to make their cards. And all they need to be is powerful women images, and then you can put a quote or put I've just put one word. So this is the beginning of mine. right? This is the beginning of my power pack. And you just put a quote or a word or whatever. And then what the idea is, what we'll do is we'll swap them. You'll send, everybody's going to send their deck to me, and then I'm going to mix them all up and then send you back a deck that won't have any of your cards in it, hopefully if everybody participates, but we'll have other people's cards in it. And so if you want to start making your power pack, if you, first of all, make one for yourself. It's really just meant to be encouraging. Like you could draw one card every day, right? And there's the size of ATCs. They don't have to be, you don't have to make them from playing cards, but if you have playing cards, I didn't gesso my cards because I just put those painty papers on top. I just put these papers that we're making on top. I didn't gesso my cards, but you can gesso your cards. Just don't Mod Podge them. Do not Mod Podge them. Don't let it get, don't even, not the ones you're going to send. Because if you Mod Podged, if you sent me a deck of cards that were Mod Podged and they all stuck together, do you know what I mean? So these just, mine just have magazine pages. I mean, I just painted on them, painted a background with magazine pages. Susan says the only images she could find was the gecko lizards, and Caitlin, not much inspiration there. Well, I'm going to send you some magazines so you'll find some. So you've just started your 12 cards. I think I've got like 20 or 25. And then on the back of your card, what you're going to put is you're going to put your name. So you can either make a, you could even make a label if you wanted to. Put your name, your mailing address, or your name in your Facebook ID or whatever. So that if somebody wanted to, like, somebody in our group says, oh, they got this and it says made by Shelly Lynn, they can get a hold of you, right? They can email you and say, I got your card or what. A whole deck, Beth, 52. So that when you, that's for the swap, if you're going to do the swap. You have plenty of time to finish your cards, Fiona. We're not doing it right this minute. So I'm just saying, like, if those of you that are making these cards with us, and you're just, like, just starting to make your cards, you know, continue to make your cards and work on your card backgrounds. And, you know, as you get it together, you have plenty of time. You have plenty of time. So we're going to do the power pack, and then when we have enough people that have completed a deck to swap, then I'll set it up in our Facebook group. And hi Dee Dee, welcome. And you can be anywhere. The only deal is that you have to pay for the postage. So, I mean, I can't afford to ship you guys all the, you know, and the reason I'm not going to set it up as a swap for a while. So start your cards. And enjoy it. Enjoy the process. Make some for yourself. Make some for your, you know. You can make them fast. You guys see me make mine a few at a time. Yes, 2.5 by 3.5 inches. You don't have to do it on playing cards. Just cut your piece of paper 2.5 by 3.5. And then put your makeup. The only requirements is it needs, you know, a powerful women image. Any women. Any age, and something positive, like this one says unlimited, right? That's the only requirement. 2.5 by 3.5, a focal point of an empowering woman, of a woman, right? And then a word. It does need a background. I mean, mine have a background. These are all the painting papers that we made. You know, this is the first foray into ATCs for many of you, right? So now that you've started making your ATCs, you know, you can be more elaborate with yours. Maybe you want to add more embellishments to it, but this is the minimum of what it needs is a background, empowering women, put picture, and a word. And you could write the word. You don't necessarily have to cut it out. Good night, Lily. See you on Tuesday. Lots of hugs, Lily. Lots of hugs. Okay, so that's all it really needs. You don't need to, it doesn't need to be, you don't have to make it all more than it is, or, you know. And I think you can get, for those of you that live in the US, you can get a package of playing cards for, how much is it? 2 for, at the dollar store, they're 2 for $1, right? And they don't have to be fancy. They can be anything. because nobody's going to even see it. I mean, I didn't gesso over the back of mine because I just didn't. And when I put my, I think I'm going to make a sticker to, or, you know, make something to stick on the back of mine, so you know who it's from. So that's all. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, they're 2 packs for $1 at the Dollar Tree, right? So there you go. And it doesn't matter if your numbers aren't right or if it's not, whatever, you can, it's not, that's not important. You know, like some people, like, I got some email from somebody that said, you know, that she had cards, but her cards were all from different decks. Great. Who cares? You just need 52 of them. Alright? That's all. I think I might make this chicken bouillon box. See, my friends save me their little, they know that I make these little tiny journals and stuff like that. So one of my friends saved me candy boxes and bouillon boxes. Rabbit, you might need to reboot. If you don't have any sound, can somebody type to Rabbit that she may need to reboot if she doesn't have any sound? So I'm gonna cover this one. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cover this one too. Oh my gosh, Klondike bars. I love ice cream bars. Isn't that terrible, Scotty? Those are like awesome. I haven't had an ice cream bar in, I don't know, probably years. Popsicles are kind of big here because my youngest daughter loves popsicles, so I'm sure we have that in the fridge, but we may not have any ice cream. Yeah, so if you want to participate in the Power Pack exchange, first of all, join our Facebook group, and if you don't have Facebook, you can still join in the exchange. You'll just have to message me. And join our Facebook group called Crafting Mamas on Facebook, and all are welcome. And you just have to make your cards. And we haven't even done it. We haven't even got, I don't even have a timeline for it, so don't stress out. You know, I don't want you to. Lily, I understand. Sometimes you just need to sleep and you can't, right? I totally get it. I get it. I get it. So you guys can save all these little boxes and make little journals with them if you feel like it. Okay, lurkers, who's lurking out there? Say hey. And you guys chat about anything. I'll chat with you guys about anything you want to chat about. Just let me know. Well, almost anything. I should preface it by saying almost anything. Yes, Scotty, you're so funny. Don't email her. I'm kidding. I woke up to 15 emails this morning. I knew some weird stuff was going on. And I woke up with my own energetic hangover. I was like, what did I eat yesterday? You know, like, why would I feel like this? But it was just, I think it's just a detox for all of us. Bringing up emotions to let it go. So if you guys chat with me about anything, I'm open. You're lurking and crafting, Carla? Good. Did you ever finish your birds, Carla? I have a whole box of birds I haven't finished. A box of birds, and I have a box of hearts, which I'm going to definitely finish because I'm giving those away at Christmas. I'm not going to keep them. Lisa, I don't know what we're going to do on Friday. I mean, we can definitely make a journal if that's what you guys want to make, but I just don't have, if we wanted to make a zombie journal, my idea was I was going to send you guys, I was going to at least post them in the Facebook group so anybody that wanted to use the images could. I was going to post, I'm going to put it down on this end. I was going to post some images so that we could all be kind of on the same page. No, not necessarily like a kit, but kind of, so that anybody had any questions, we could work through it. But this week is so hairy for me, I don't have time to like put together that sort of thing, and I couldn't find, I thought it was something easy. Hi, Jenny! You came back to join us, Kylie? You went to bed and you couldn't sleep? I'm telling you, it's this moon energy. It's this eclipse energy. I'm like, I don't know what it is, girls. And I don't know if you're like me. I like to art it out. Sometimes I just stay up and I art. Do you guys, are you like that? I'm sorry you can't sleep, Kylie. I can relate though. That's me most of the time. So, if you guys want to join us and do the power pack with us, you can. It's 52 cards with a picture of an empowering woman and a word or a phrase. Like some people have put, and they don't have to look like mine. Do them your version. You know, I just did painting because we were doing painting papers. You know, but make your painting papers however. And mine are covered in this, in the newsprint that I'm obsessed with painting on right now. You know, sometimes my stuff comes from people who will send me like messages and emails, and they'll say like, you know, I don't have that supply, or I can't make it because I don't have that, or whatever it is, right? And so sometimes some of the things that I do are in response to that. And I do love recycling, but sometimes it's in response to like, I don't have the supply, how can I do it without it? Or so I'm always up for that. So hang on, you guys. Hottie is calling me at the moment. Hey, I'm live streaming. Are you on your way home? Okay. Okay. Okay, bye. He's on his way home from hot yoga, you guys. He's on his way home from hot yoga. Yeah, I don't sleep well either, Kylie. I haven't for years. I don't think I ever slept well. Michelle's like that too. Like people call her and say, well, that's great. Good, Samantha. I'm glad you're working on your personal art journal. You know, if you can just, you know, we all need sleep. You know, we all need sleep or rest, whether it's sleep or not. Just like where you're just resting. Sarah said she used to work the night shift, and it's taken her a long time to manage your energies to sleep differently. I understand that. I understand that completely. No, sometimes I get these emails from people that say, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't, you know, like, it's funny, once you open your life up. Do my surf? Do my kids surf? I don't surf. I mean, I stand up paddleboard, but I don't surf. My kids, 2 of my kids surf. You know, 2 of my kids surf. So, I stand up paddleboard though. I like stand-up paddleboarding. Do you guys like that? And I swim. I try to get in the ocean every day. Do you guys ever do that? A 6-year-old will definitely keep you from the energy of a kid. Yeah, energy of a child. Definitely keep you going. Oh, I love it. Bridgeline says, life is something you do when you can't sleep. Well, I don't know. You know, for me, what I do is I try to just allow myself the freedom to play. So when I get all these emails, it's funny, what I was going to say is that before he called was, it's funny when you open your life up to something like this, like YouTube, live streaming, or just YouTube in general. People just, you know, they gravitate toward you and tell you all kinds of cool stuff, and then also complain to you too, like, I don't have that. Nobody's really given me a hard time that I use trash. I have had somebody. You're 45 minutes from the beach, Fiona. Do you get in? Get in every day. It really helps me. I let it go. So people will tell you the craziest stuff and share with you some of their most amazing things as well. but they'll also sort of like, you know, fuss at you a bit about different things and what have you. And so I had this one lady, and what did she tell me? She was just basically saying, you know, like she didn't have any supplies, and her heart yearned to art, but she didn't have any supplies. So then I just started focusing on like what you could get for free. And now I just really like doing. You just finished decorating the inside of your junk journal. Awesome. Well, this is the one that I made a few days ago when we did our make and use it with the 10 pages. Yeah, the waves can be too crazy. You have for here there are places you can go. So this is the one we made from on the last live stream, which was like, or maybe the one before, I don't know, you guys. And this is just with papers and, you know, painty papers and different stuff. And I started making pockets in it, and I haven't put any tags in it or anything yet. Then I was going to do some tip-ins and then write in it and maybe draw in it. You can get a lot of free stuff here, Fiona. But what you can get, that everybody can get, is newspapers. So that's why I started doing painting newspapers. And you can all get throwaway magazines. That's how that whole thing with me making those crazy throwaway magazine flowers that I make as well. So this is my little 10-page journal that if you wrote or arted on every side, you would have something to do. It gives you 40 sides to work with. 10 pages gives you 40 sides of paper to work with. And that's good for a month, but it's also thin enough that if I wanted to add tip-ins and more stuff to it, right, it can grow and grow and grow. So the Facebook group is called Crafting Mamas. Well, the first thing you can do is, do you still get bills in the mail? Do you still get, you want to make a meander book? I made one, but I don't know where it is. You guys know I made a few of those. Those are fun to make too. You know, the first place to start with your mail. I mean, or a phone book. Like, at least in the U.S., they have lots of places where people are letting go of phone books. Or Noni says, oh my God, gals, I couldn't get the glue stick to stick. And then she realized it's chapstick. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Noni, I think you're my sister. Okay? So Fiona, that's where I started, just with junk mail. Start with junk mail, your food packaging. I mean, you guys know how crazy I am about making these food packaging boxes, you know, tags, and then my magazine paper clips. You know, I can go on and on. You guys, but it started because, you know, that would so happen to me, Noni. Kylie said she did the same thing, and then she used the glue stick on her lips. Oh no, girls! No, so, you know, I love making recycled things, and you know how obsessed I am with making junk journals. I love making junk journals, you guys. I'm like so obsessed with it. And they don't even have to have a reason. Like, the number one question I get all the time is like, why would you make it and what do you use it for? Newsflash, you don't have to use it for anything, or you can. Kylie said she did use the glue on her lips. Oh my Lord, that's awesome. What I do love is that it doesn't limit you. You know, it doesn't limit you. It does not limit your creativity just because you don't have the latest, greatest, newest supply. Okay? That's the only thing that my only point is that you don't have to have it. You don't have to, just because you don't have the latest, greatest supply doesn't mean that you can't participate or make it. Kylie says she always has chapstick sitting at her desk, so it's easy to mix up. Well, the other thing is that now that my neighbors know that I collect junk mail and magazines, trust me, I'll come home and there'll be like a bag of junk mail on my doorstep. Which, for anybody else, they probably would think it's crazy. Yes, Brenda is singing a song for us. Can you guys sing it? Oh my gosh. I love that song. That reminds me, what is that movie that was Moonstruck with Cher? I liked that movie, and Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage and Cher. And all those really great actors were in that movie. I love that. So that's where it all came. I mean, I've always been a recycler, but you know, when you get barraged with a lot of like emails from people saying, you know, I don't do this or I can't do that or whatever. So that's why I was showing you guys although my desk is a mess, my non-stick pad is the back side of some contact paper, right? And then I use it in my journal, right? Because I showed you guys. And then my craft mat is a mailbox, an express mailbox that I've covered in wax paper with tape. A used express mailbox. Fiona, I have a feeling if you just put it out there to your friends and your family and you just said, I'm collecting some books nobody wants to use for the pages, people would suddenly start bringing you stuff. And then you'd be like, oh my God, I can't, why are they bringing me so much stuff? So, as you guys know, I've been helping that friend of mine move. Right? She's trying to pack all of her stuff up to move to another, she was from the island of Oahu, and she was trying to pack her stuff up to move back to take care of her mom. Her mom's ill and older and, you know, aging parents and that whole thing, right? So she was doing that. So she's actually on Oahu right now, you know, dealing with some issues with her mother and whatever. And then she sends me a text yesterday and she's like, can you use any of these? And it's so funny. She knows that I make recycled art. So she saves me the most random, bizarre things. Some of them I love, some of them I don't. And I just let it go. You know, like some of them I'm not going to use. I just recycle. But, so, you know, I think once your friends know that you do this, they will start saving stuff for you. But I like junk mail is my favorite. I love junk mail. If you watch any of my videos, you've seen me make everything out of junk mail. Have you not? I have made, I can't even think of something I haven't made out of junk mail. Yes, it's relaxing and you don't have to create a masterpiece. You're absolutely right, Alta. You are absolutely right. You don't have to create a masterpiece. And on top of it, you don't even have to worry because you didn't spend a ton of money on your supplies. You're just enjoying it. You've been watching my older videos. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks for loving me up and supporting me. You guys, I think that I could do a whole series of videos on how many things you could make with the book pages. Like, serious. But you know what, Fiona, if that's not you, then don't do it. Use your scrapbook paper. You don't have, look, just because I'm into recycled art does not mean you have to be. For me, it's a couple things. It's like the constant barrage of people saying, I don't have the money for that expensive scrapbook paper or whatever, right? And it's also that I live on an island, and so everything ends up in a landfill here. I mean, yes, we recycle some stuff, but you know, for the most part, a lot of stuff ends up in a landfill, and you know, it's nice for me to feel like I'm not adding to it here. I'm not adding to the collective of trash, you know. But I do have a lot of stuff that I could let go. So, I mean, I do. And I've been letting go. Good night, Sarita. I'm sending you a huge hug, okay? Are you feeling any better? I agree with you, Kylie. Kylie says you know, there's so much out there that we think that if we don't have it, then we can't create. But she feels that the less we have, the more creative we can be. I agree with you 100%. Agree with you 100%. So that's what for me. I enjoy it, but if it's not something you enjoy, then don't do it. Or Fiona, if you wanted to make your painty papers, make your painty papers on. I'm certainly sure you must have gotten a couple of pieces of ugly scrapbook paper in your stash. We all do. Even if we don't try to have some ugly scrapbook paper, it comes, right? Like, well, who were we talking about this with the other day? Like, somebody says that they put, what are they, so one of you guys had such a good funny thing to say about it. Like, they put ugly scrapbook paper in because, I don't remember. It was something so perfect, though. I can't remember. If one of you guys remembers, pipe in. Okay, this is my chicken bouillon cube book, which is tiny. Like, look, this ATC is 2 by 3. So this ATC card's 2.5. So this is like 2 inches by 3.5 inches, this little book. This will be fun to put some stuff in. You want to make the papers I made with the circles? Do it. Do it on book pages. I'm kind of obsessed with the painty paper. Or do it on your scrapbook paper. Or do it on brown paper. You guys saw me make all those books out of brown paper bags. You know me and my brown paper obsession too. Can't help myself, you guys. It's ridiculous. I have my own, like, paper obsession. You're right. Everything seen can be made. I agree with you 100%. Brenda says, they put the ugly scrapbook paper in with the pretty paper because that's the only way they can get rid of it. I don't know, you guys. For me, it's just been joyful. I think getting it under control in the storage area can be a bit overwhelming. You know, as far as, like, especially if you find something that you really want to keep and you know eventually you're going to use it, but you don't have space for it. I mean, that part is the part that I'm still working on. I got some new shelves and I'm working on, you know, just reorganizing everything. Awesome. All right, you lurkers out there. Say howdy, as Brenda says, howdy. Or as Michelle says, what does Michelle say? Hello, ladies. Can I tell you, sometimes I'm on there and I'm like, you say it again. One time I think I had her say it like 4 times because I just wanted to hear her say, hello, ladies. I love her voice. Hello, ladies. All right, that one's going to be a cute book. So now so far I have 4 journal covers. This one was made from an envelope, and these are made from, this one was from a cornbread mix box, this one was from a soap box, and this one's from a chicken bouillon box. I know, don't you? I'm loved. Thanks, Fiona. I love you girls. Yeah, if you girls are having fun, please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. You're absolutely right, Alta. It is exactly like a kid looking at pictures in a coloring book and thinking that they're not good enough. I agree with you 100%. Okay, I'm a little bit obsessed with making these journal covers, you guys. I guess that means I'm going to be making, like, journals. I'm going to be making lots of journals, even though I didn't know. The little blue circles. Fiona, I was having my moment with the circles, okay? I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with these circles. It's the Q-tip painty circles. It's the Q-tip painter. It's the Q-tip painty circles. I don't know what it is. It's ridiculous. But can you imagine? I bet it would look really good if you did. I mean, you could use better paper than my newsprint because you can still see. Beth says, "Let's get ready to rumble." You can still see the newsprint underneath it. I don't know if you can see it from here. Like, you can still see it on this one. Even though I really love this paper, like, you can still see the newsprint under it. And I like that. But for somebody that might have a little bit more in the perfectionist nature than I do, you may want to gesso or put it on a different kind of paper. You don't have to, just because I'm obsessed with this doesn't mean you have to be. You know, this is my tangent. guys know me and my ridiculousness. I have my ridiculousness, okay? Definitely have my ridiculousness. I was thinking too that I haven't done it yet, but I might make some sleeves for one of these books to put. Remember I made that flag book and I told you guys you could put your ATCs in a flag book? Maybe after we've collected a few ATCs, we'll make another flag book. You could store your ATCs in a flag book. Girls, it is the eclipse. I'm telling you, it's like, think about it. It affects the tides of the ocean, and you have water in your bodies just like that. So, you know, you can't get around it. You cannot get around it. Cannot get around it. So I've got all these journal covers going on. So I guess that means I better be making some journals, right? I better get my little behind in gear and make some journals. The color, you like the color power. Bye, Scotty. I hope you have a wonderful night. We love you, Scotty. We're glad that you hung out with us. You like the organic look? Thanks, Samantha. Eclipse and Shelly make circles. I'm like, I don't know what it is. Lily, you know what I would like? I would like a cup of hot tea, and it's hot here today, but I would like a cup of hot tea. So if you're gonna get yourself some water, if you can make me a cup of hot tea, I'd like it. In the meantime, I'll drink my iced tea. Samantha wants some coffee. Can you guys get her some coffee? She would like some cafe. Well, I have this box, but I've cut it up. So I often take these things and I cut them up. I had a hole punch here. Let me see. I often cut up and make my tags out of them. And then I also make my paperclip embellishments out of them. Do you guys do that too? You guys know me and my ridiculous paperclip embellishment fetish. I don't know. What is it about paperclip embellishments? Thanks, Fee. It's nice to hang out and craft with you. Oh, I love peppermint tea. That's one of my favorites, Lily. One of my favorites. Do you know they don't have peppermint tea in South America? I was in South America. I brought my girlfriend. I went to visit a friend, and I had been there before, and she'd offered me mint tea, and it was not, I don't know what kind of mint it was, but it didn't taste like any mint. So I brought her peppermint tea. She was laughing at me. So, because she would say, would you like some mint tea that's not mint tea? And we would laugh. I make tags. This is like a cake mix box, and I make tags from it. I make tags. I make tabs as well for my journals. But I use these pieces, like, if I can find the hole punch. I thought I had it here, but I might have taken it off my desk. Like, my little tiniest space here. I punch circles in it, and I make, oh, here's my hole punch on the floor. I'll show you. But what I'm thinking is I might use some of my painty papers, what's left of my painty papers. Mint tea sounds Moroccan. I love peppermint tea. I love it. Bye, Lisa. You're recycling. Awesome. Yes, I saw the tea your friend sent you yesterday, Brenda. That was hilarious. I would love some biscuits too, Bridgeline. You never made any paperclip embellishments? You can make them out of anything, but I like to take, I'll show you really quick. Let me see. I had a whole bunch of them cut out, but I don't have any tiny paper clips. Usually I like the smaller ones. I mean, I do, but they're just not here. So I like this one. I've had this for a long time. It's a Stampin' Up! Punch, and it's a 1 1/4 circle. I like the one that's a little bit smaller than this, but I don't have it near my desk. So I cut out two pieces. 2 of them for each paperclip embellishment. Okay? And so sometimes I just cut up all these circles and I have them laying around. And here, I'll show you my mess. Got my mess going on here. It's my glue paper. I need an X-Acto knife. Guys, did I get all the way over here? Of course I don't have an X-Acto knife. I'll go get it really quick. Okay, so what you need is you need 2 circles. And I'm gonna, let's see if I can find something that's better than this. Here, okay, so you can see the 2 circles here. Can you see them? Hi, Rose! We're good. How are you? So 2 circles, and you need a paper clip. This you do need to use wet glue for, okay? You need more than one paper clip, and I'll tell you why. Because you need to use your paper clips to clip them together, okay? In fact, you know what? I'll make 2. I'll make 1. You can use the side parts of your box too if they fit in your hole punch. But I love making paperclip embellishments like this. If you guys like to do it too, it's super fun. Okay, so punch out 4 circles. If you guys have a hole punch out 4 circles and punch it out of your packaging. Okay, and let me I gotta grab my mat knife. Be right back. 2 seconds. It's right across the room on a table. I have my Rambo knife, but you guys gave me such grief about my Rambo knife. I'm afraid to show my Rambo knife anymore. Okay, I have a smaller X-Acto knife, and you definitely need a mat knife for this. Now, mine has a self-healing mat underneath it because it's my yucky one. And as you can see, I've already cut out a bunch because I usually leave them in my paperclip box. You're following? Okay, cool. Okay, so this is the thing. Depending upon now look, you can glue it a couple of different ways. I have these paper clips. Maybe these will work. I like the plain ones that are not these. I like the plain metal ones, not necessarily the ones that have, maybe I'll use a red one and then you'll be able to see it better. Now this is just to make a blank. So I often do this. I often make these, and then, here's a very large paper clip. I often make these blanks and then I leave them for whatever I'm going to need them for. Okay, so what you want to do is, if you're going to make a hidden paper clip, your paper clip can only be hidden by the amount of space it has at the top. Okay, let me see, are any of these boxes? One of these is good. This will go on the inside. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so cut a notch close to the top for your paper clip to go in. And you want to, depending upon the size, the dog's going to bark. I'm sorry, you guys. Depending upon the, Rose says she was very inspired by, while she was in, yes, my Rambo knife. You guys, that big, huge mat knife that I had that you guys were laughing at me. Rose says she was on vacation in Hawaii. She was in the island of Kauai, and she had nothing to journal on, so she used a grocery bag. That's great. Okay, what you want to decide is what the outside of your, is going to be. I'm going to let the cake mix box be the outside. You want to stick the smaller side of your paper clip on the inside where you've notched it. Okay, so you've notched it, right? You've notched it at the kind of toward the top, and you're sticking your paper clip inside. So this is what it looks like so far, okay? You have the smaller side on the inside and the larger side on the outside. Now, let's do it with the big one too, and I'll do it with the gray side on. Notch close to the top. You want to put your smaller side on the inside. Paper clips are on sale, then get them. I like the small ones, though, but I don't have any. I have them somewhere. I just don't have them on my desk. Okay. Now, so this is what you have. You have it like this. This is going to be this is the inside of both. No, I did it wrong. This is the inside and this is the inside. Okay, the smaller thing outside on the inside. And then what I do, now, what I do is I glue, it doesn't matter, you can glue the, whatever side you want, it doesn't even matter really. But I glue it, go ahead and but you need wet glue. You definitely need wet glue. And you can use regular school glue, it doesn't have to be expensive fancy glue, but you need wet glue. Alright, and then you want to go ahead, this is why I save all these bits and pieces, to spread it around. Put a lot of glue on the inside where the smaller paper clip is, right? And then take your piece that's going to be on the inside and put it together. Now you're going to need some paper clips to hold it till it dries. Okay? So that's why I said bring some extra paper clips to the table with you. Okay? And you're just gonna clip it down until it dries. And these are what I use as paper clip blanks. So what I mean by paper clip blanks is, like, say you're doing, and I have a box of them somewhere around here. I make these, like, if I'm watching TV or whatever. I hang out and I make these, and then I save them all so that I have, you know, like little blanks. Now you just want to let it dry, let the glue set up. Same thing with the big one. You want to glue on the inside where the smaller part of the paper clip is. Okay? And it doesn't really matter what you put inside or out. I guess if you don't want to see any of your cake mix box, then you put it on the inside. And then you have to just glue it. You have to hold it down. Now you want to let it completely dry before you add your embellishment on top. Now those crazy paper flowers that I make, I put these on I put those paper flowers on here. Those ones that we made from the punch, you know, where you do like 10 punches of a circle of a junk mail and then you put a brad through it, make your flower. So those are like that. So that's just what a paper clip blank is. Now somebody's going to say, why do you do it like that? Okay, so here's some that I've done. And these are just, remember I showed you guys I cut out some magazine pieces the other day, like some bits and pieces of magazines that I thought the patterns were kind of cool, just to be, so do you see what I mean? And then, so if you want it to lay flush, the reason I do the hidden paper clip thing is that when you want it to lay on your page, it lays flat. Do you see? Whereas it won't stick up like let's look at it in my journal, like this little journal that I made, right? So you want it to lay flat. Like say you don't want it to stick. Some people want their paper clips to stick up outside of their journal. But if you don't want yours to stick up outside of your journal, you can, do you see what I mean? It lays it flat, flush to the page. Now, if you're going to add stuff, you could glue anything on top. I just happen to glue some circles on top of this. But you could put anything. You could put your puzzle piece. You could decide you wanted to make puzzle piece or flowers or whatever you're going to do. You don't have to do it round, but that's just what this one was. This is just a piece of a magazine. But you could put anything. Your flower, your, like this, like my flowers that I made, those flowers. This one's going to be a journaling charm. But I could take it to my paper clip blank. Do you see? And it could be my, it's just easy, that's all. So that's what I do. But you do it however you want to do it. But that's what I use with my books and my boxes and stuff like that. So Tuesday, I think we're going to work, if you guys are around on Tuesday, we'll work on our power pack on Tuesday. We will work on our power pack on Tuesday, and we'll work, I don't know what we'll work on Friday. Okay? You went to Michael's yesterday. What did you get? Did you get a bunch of stuff? All right, Lily, I hope you sleep good. I hope you get to go to sleep this time. I really do. So that's how I recycle my stuff, friends. That you guys got my recycling 411 for the day. Okay, my girls. You guys all say hi to each other. Join, come on over and head over to our Facebook group, Crafting Mamas. It's really fun. You don't have to be a paper crafter. You can be a crocheter, a knitter, a jeweler. You can do whatever your craft is. There's no, everyone's included. Except Pocket Man. He's not included anymore. We booted him. Everyone's included. You got some clips for books? Oh, good for you. But, Renee, did you get a bunch of cool stuff at the flea market? I was dying to know what you got. You may have posted it, but I missed it. Got binder rings and stuff? Cool. Bye, Renee. Big hugs. So Friday we'll work on some journal, but I don't know what. Hi, Lucinda. Alright, picture 411 in for the last few minutes, you guys, and tell me if there's anything you want to talk about, and then we can do a little bit of energy work, and then I'll send you guys off to have a wonderful night's sleep, I hope. It's this, I'm telling you. You got old scrapbooks and postcards, Renee? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. It's so good. I love the pictures that you posted of you and Deb. Those are great. Those are awesome. It looks like fun. I mean, I would have loved to have gone to... Renee went to an all-night flea market. Does that sound like so much fun? An all-night flea market? I probably would have come home with a carload of stuff that I didn't need. Old photos and and you got an old deck of Victorian playing cards. Oh my gosh, Renee, score, 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 score. That's so great. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome sauce. And you got floral handkerchiefs too? Boy, you really hit the jackpot. You hit the jack-o-pot. Alright, bye Samantha. Night Samantha. Oh my gosh, Renee, I would have loved to. That would have been, I have to say, if I was going to have a date, like if I was like, hey, if I was younger and it's like, hey, want to go on a date? All night flea market would be my kind of thing. You're welcome, Samantha. Sweet dreams. I hope you sleep well. We can always jelly print. You know me and my jelly printing. I'm like addicted to jelly printing, you guys. I'm addicted to jelly printing. I'm addicted to recycling. I know, right, Ash? An all-night flea market? Oh, good. Kylie, we'd love to have you. And you guys go and check her channel out. As soon as the video is uploaded to YouTube, I'll link Kylie's channel in the description box. And you guys go over and show her some love. You would love what she does. She is a fun artist, and she is a lot like me, and does a lot of recycling. She's more arty than I am, I think. You're a good painter, Kylie. I'm just a schlocky painter, but I try. Oh, all right, my ladies. I want everybody to take a deep breath in. Plant your feet firmly on the floor. Firmly, firmly, firmly on the floor. Make your circle of light as big as your body and beyond, 6 feet in all directions. Make sure your beam of light is anchored deep, deep, deep into the earth. Focus on the base of your spine, on like your tailbone. From your tailbone is a ball of light right inside your body. It's called your first energy center, or your first chakra. And from that, make sure your beams of light are beaming deep into the earth, and then beam 2 more through your hips, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, and out the bottom of your feet. Allow them to meet up with your bigger column of light. Allow yourself to expand and be that big column of light that you are. And make sure your roots are deep in the earth. And let's breathe in this beautiful gold earth energy. Breathe it in. And breathe it in. And breathe it in. Feel it rising all the way up through your first energy center at your base of your spine. And your lower abdomen filling. And your solar plexus, your navel center, and building. And feel it in your heart. and your throat, filling your head. Feel it fountaining out the top of your head. Focus on your spine and make sure this energy is filling every vertebra of your spine. Feel it like little bubbles in between all of your vertebrae. Feel it in your shoulders, in your upper arms, elbows, lower arms, wrists, and out every finger. I want you to go back to your heart. And breathe in this beautiful gold earth energy and allow it to fill your heart. Breathe in for yourself and exhale to others. And breathe it in for yourself and exhale it to others. Breathe in this beautiful gold earth energy, this beautiful love energy. Breathe it in. And exhale it and send it to each other. One more time. Breathe it in. Send it to each other, to your family and friends, to your community, to your neighborhood. Allow it to expand even further to the state where you live in, to your country, to the country next to yours. Pinpoint the farthest point you can imagine. Breathe it in and send it there. To the earth, her beautiful waters, the air, the animal kingdom, plant kingdom. Breathe it into you. Mineral kingdom. To the nature spirits. Breathe in and receive this beautiful love and send it back. One more time. Receive the love of the divine and send back the love. Okay, my ladies, I love you all so very much. I'm wishing you the most creative and crafty day. I hope wish you all those that are going to lay down that you have a peaceful night's sleep, and that you have a restful sleep, and I wish you inspiration, and most of all, I wish you peace. Peace, peace, peace beyond understanding. Peace, peace, peace. I love you. I love you so much. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Chat me up. Send me any sort of questions or messages on Facebook. I hope you sleep well, Kylie. Love to you all. And as always, girls, from my heart to your heart, I'm sending you so, so, so much aloha. I love you, ladies. Have a wonderful, peaceful day. Peace begins with me. The peace of I to each and every one. Peace begins with me and you. I love you, ladies. You can do it. You're the creators of this world. Don't you forget it. You make a difference. You matter. You count. I love you beyond words. And post your crafty creations. Get out that crafty creation no matter what you're doing. Post it in the Facebook group. Love you, ladies. Sleep well. Take care. Aloha.